Well, good afternoon and welcome back to Tollcross International Swimming Centre here in the East End of Glasgow. We are here for session 8 of the Scottish National Open Swimming Championships. Great morning of action. We're due for another few races this afternoon. Everybody trying to make their way into finals this evening. My name's Paul Noble. I'm joined again in the commentary box by Robert Taylor. Afternoon, Robert.
Afternoon, Paul. Nice to be back after just over an hour break. We've had a chance to stretch our legs and come back and enjoy the afternoon session. This is session 8, as Paul mentioned. This is where the swimmers in the don't say the younger age, but most of them are a lot younger than the swimmers this morning, and they get the opportunity to swim this afternoon and maybe get themselves into potentially maybe a B final. Paul, we didn't manage that yesterday, but there might be an opportunity today.
Well, we'll try and keep tabs on the times we're doing. We've got Roberts all over the results from this morning. We'll do our comparisons as we go through, and it's same events as this morning almost. We have the 400 freestyles, start with the women and follow with the men. 100 butterfly the same. Move on to the sprint events. It was quick turnover this morning, 50 breaststroke and 50 freestyle. And we finished the individual events this morning with the 200 backstrokes before we went to the relays. But relays finals will progress to the final session later on this afternoon. And we have a 1500 metres freestyle for us to enjoy.
We had a couple of 1500 metres yesterday for the men. It's the women's turn. Just double check the programme for later on. There is just the one heat of 1500 that we've got to look forward to. And we see on the far side, one of the coaches got almost like a rara skirt on. We've had a bit of a fun.
I blame the parents.
Yeah, I do, yeah, so do I, yeah.
You going to enlighten us with the parents?
No, Paul.
Robert's daughter there on the far side of the pool. But there's this great. We're getting some great pictures.
We are getting
here.
some great pictures. Yeah,
that's the big glass window at the end of the pool, at the start end of the pool. We're just looking down the pool from the far end there. The scoreboard is where the camera is at in that shot that you're seeing, and it's a great facility here in Tollcross, isn't it? It's hosted some major events over the years. Indeed. Commonwealth Games, of course. Famously European Championships as well in recent years, and it's really great to have this kind of facility here in Glasgow, isn't it, and in Scotland.
It is indeed, yeah. And you saw in that picture it was a live picture because the trees were all green and a bit of movement. So yeah, we are live from Tollcross today, and as Paul says, we'll have a very busy programme ahead of us. We'll try and bring you up to speed with various times that are required to get into A and B finals. And
just looking down the start list then, Robert, we see some swimmers that we have seen swimming in the first couple of days in the afternoon session, but we're also seeing some swimmers this afternoon that swam this morning as well.
We have, yeah. Some of them, maybe their best stroke could be backstroke, so they're in because they're pretty fast at back, but maybe one of the slightly weaker events might be a breaststroke, so they'll do a breaststroke, and they might be in the fastest or the second fastest heat this afternoon in breaststroke. And you never know, good time improvement in time could push them into a B final. It's a big ask. We were looking at some of the times, and we're maybe looking at some of them having to improve by maybe 15 seconds, certainly for the 400 freestyle. We looked at that earlier, Paul, where swimmers are in at in the slowest heat on maybe a 4:55, and we then get the swims completed, and the slowest time for a B final is something like 4:41, 4:42. So swimmers that are in at 4:56 have really got a motor. Kind of unlikely they're going to do it, but you never know.
Well, you aim for that time. If you can get inside your entry time, that's going to be good for all of these swimmers here this afternoon. We have entry times for everyone. We'll keep abreast of them as we go through the events this afternoon. We will start off with the first of the 3 heats of the women's 400 freestyle. And there are the swimmers as you look at the pictures at home. lane 0 will be right at the top of your screen, and lane 9 at the bottom, and those 2 yellow marked lanes in the middle are 4 and 5, 4 being the furthest one away from us. The lineup for this first heat: 7 swimmers in lanes 1 to 7. Sadie Faulkner from St Thomas goes in lane number 1, right at the top there. Hannah Anderson from Carnegie goes in lane number 2. Zara Denson, Monifieth in 3. Annabelle Scatterty from Aberdeen Dolphin in 4. Bethany Irvin, Shetland in 5. Lola Timmins, Borough of Stockton in 6. And the youngster of the field, 13 years of age, Honor McCardle from Inverclyde.
Yeah, just 13 on her. And her big sister has swum this morning. I think she was third going into the 50 butterfly final this evening. Stella McCarty. She swims at City Glasgow, but her younger sister swims for Inverclyde. And on the far side, it's the St Thomas swimmer, Sadie Faulkner, who is our early leader, 1:10.25. I did mention on 400 freestyle, 4:42.12, Paul, is the 20th position for the ladies freestyle, and we did mention when we were looking at this morning that we suspected this afternoon the fastest swimmer coming in would be around the mid 450s. It is indeed 4:55.60. So they've got to find basically 13.5 seconds, which is possible. Whether it will happen,
well, some of the young swimmers have seen some big improvements. We shall wait and see what we get with this 400 freestyle. But the entry times are all kind of seeded. So we have the fastest entry times in lane 4, and they kind of fan out to the slowest times in the outside lanes. But that's not the way it's working in this one, because Sadie Faulkner, the 14-year-old, has got a little bit of a jump on the rest of the field there. 5:05 her entry time, and if you look at what she's gone through the first half of this one in, 2:26, so well inside that 5:05 pace. Yeah,
we're looking at some point pretty close to 5 minutes, Paul. Okay, she's not going to threaten a 4:42, but certainly for the first couple of heats, it's all about trying to improve on your entry time. Certainly for some of the youngsters, that should be the case for a few of them. We did find yesterday we had, I think Madison Cool was doing a 400 IM and was in at something like 5:45. She'd had a massive improvement. It didn't get her into a B final, but she was one that actually took about 13 seconds off her time. So yeah, we'd have to have someone as capable as Madison Cool swimming. We don't have Madison Cool doing a 400 in the last heat, but we'll wait and see how that one goes, Paul.
Well, Lola Timmins has taken up the running just ahead of Sadie Faulkner now. Lola Timmins from Borough of Stockton, and great to see swimmers from the north of England here coming up to take part in these championships. Quite a number from the north of England.
They are indeed.
Place. Oh, and it's just very close, isn't it?
Yeah.
3:44 for Lola Timmins and 3:44.3 for Sadie Faulkner.
Well, let's hope they can find something a wee bit special over the last 100, Paul. They're tracking a wee bit over 5 minutes. Very much on their entry time. Certainly Lola's very much on that entry time of 5:02.77. Sadie just a wee bit maybe inside that. And not a million miles away in lane 4 is Annabella Scattery, Aberdeen Dolphins 14-year-old.
It's very close now. Sadie Faulkner takes the running again, 37.81. See the splits on the screen there? Yeah. You saw 0.8 of a second faster in that previous split there for Sadie Faulkner, and that's taken her back into the lead. That, as you said, Robert, let's hope that they can just pick up the pace very slightly here and maybe dip under that 5-minute mark. It'd be a nice way to start the afternoon. They're both kicking quite hard with the legs in these closing stages now, and they might just make this one, Robert.
Well, I think Sadie will definitely get under it. And Lola also, well, a very tight finish indeed, but delighted to see both the girls get under 5 minutes.
Oh, Sadie Faulkner takes that one by 0.12 of a second. Lola Timmins in second. They'll be delighted with those times. Annabelle Scatterty from Aberdeen Dolphin also inside her entry time. And the result is just about to be confirmed. There we go. Hannah Anderson was the 4th place swimmer in 5:07.23. Nice way to start.
Yeah, lovely. Absolutely lovely. 3 of the girls all inside their entry time. The other one's just a wee bit over it. And we move on to our second heat. 0, Daisy Gogdee, City Glasgow. 1, Amelia Burrell, Glenrothes. 2 is Katie Wells from Carnegie. 3, Perry Scobie from Stirling Swimming. 4 is Katie Lowe from Glenrothes. 5, Evie Chan, round 96. 6, Lisa McNair from First. 7, Natalie Moody from Swim West Lothian. 8, Kaylin Robinson from Lerwick. And 9, Emily Schofield from Stokesley. All these girls entry time 5 minutes exactly through to 5:01.42. 2 of the girls on a 5-minute dead, which kind of suggests, Paul, that that is not a long course time, it's a short course conversion. When it finishes in a 0, that's what usually happens. It's rounded up to the nearest 10th. Some of the swimmers on a 0.04, that will be almost a certain long course time. That's Perry Scobie in lane 3, she's on a 5:00.04, and Lisa McNair a 5:00.06. And Paul did mention that the middle lanes are usually the ones that should be in the lead. That's the 2 lanes. You'll see that you've got lane ropes in yellow. The middle is the midway point on the pool, and either side you would have lanes 4 and 5. But it's not always how it works out, Paul. It's Perry Scobie in lane 2 going well, and in 7 Natalie Moody. Hardly anything between them, 106.69 and 107.61. Well, they've gone out quite strongly, Paul, so that's a promising start. That at least suggests that they're pacing a little bit under 5 minutes. So both the girls would be looking to maybe get somewhere probably close to 450-ish, maybe a low 450s at this pace.
Yeah, it's pretty good going in the early stages here. So Natalie Moody just with that edge there by about half a second there ahead of Perry Scobie. And they've you see the splits from that previous 50 there. Perry Scobie just dipping under the 37-second mark, and Natalie Moody just above that, and they are pacing faster than anyone else in the pool at this point as they come down to the halfway stage. Maybe in 3rd, looks like it might be Katie Wells from Carnegie. It's quite a young field in this one. Daisy Gildea, Amelia Burrell and Evie Chan, 13 years of age, the 3 of them. We'll see how they go in the later stages of this one. Can we get anyone under the 5-minute mark? Natalie Moody has led them through in 2:21.93, and that significantly faster than the previous heat, Robert. So
yes, indeed.
We're looking for a good time here, probably even closer to 4:50 than 5 minutes.
I would agree with you, Paul. It's certainly well inside 5 minutes, and yeah, Perry Scobie now just beginning to get to work. That's split 36.87, so she can do another one. That would bring it in round about the 3:37 and give her a chance of probably something like about 4:51 maybe. Natalie Moody also going pretty steadily, and as you say, a long way back to Katie Wells, who I'm not saying is clear of the rest in 3rd, but she's got quite a reasonable gap between 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. The Carnegie swimmer in lane 2, just on the far side of your picture. But Perry Scobie's really got to work now, 37.72. That last split, 3:37.21. And she, I think, looks as though she's got this race under control now, Paul.
Yeah, she certainly picked up the pace there. On that last 100, Perry Scobie 37.7 for that previous 50. She's just taken another second out of Natalie Moody there as they come down to this final turn here at the scoreboard end. So she is away and clear. Looks like second place is maybe settled as well. Natalie Moody, Katie Wells still holding on for third, but she's got the two 13-year-olds right up there in lane 0 and 1 chasing her. So the three swimmers at the top of the picture just looking like they're going to fight it out for third position. But it looks like the top two are decided now, Robert. Perry Scobie and Natalie Moody away and clear in first and second, I think.
Well, can we get Perry under 450? She's going to be a big ask for her to do so. But she's given it everything. 444. No, it's maybe just a 4. I did say 451 was well within her grasp here. Well, we're at 450.49. She even got under the 451. And Natalie Moody 456 dead. And Katie Wells a nice strong finish on a 36.75. She'll be chuffed to bits on also under 5 minutes. 458.46. That's a great swim for Carnegie Lass as well. So great to see almost 10 seconds off that time for Perry. 450.49. And just on the commentary, I'd just like to thank her for a month ago where she had her birthday, and I sang happy birthday to her, and she gave me a wee something which I did appreciate. So thank you very much, Perry.
I thought you were going to say you were going to thank her for allowing you to sing. I know you love to sing, Robert.
Oh, that happens anyway, Paul. That's a gimme. That's a given. On to heat number 3. Lane 0, we've Eva Ross, City of Glasgow. Our teammates Lucy Nimmo in 1 and Anna Campbell in 2. 3 is Eden Fraser from the University of Aberdeen Performance. 4 is Kayla Johnson from Limerick. 5, Melissa Menny, South Lanarkshire. 6, Amber Hinton, Dumfries. 7, Rebecca Somerville, round 96. 8, Ella Cunningham, City of Glasgow. And 9, Lucy Hunter from Motherwell and Wishaw. So 3 City of Glasgow swimmers right at the top of your screen. The fastest swimmer is the Limerick swimmer Kayla Johnston on a 4:55.60, which is, I suspect, a short course conversion. It may not be, but it probably is. Melissa Menny on a 4:56.32. Melissa's gone out pretty strongly, Paul. A very solid backstroke swimmer. Competed at Nationals and was in the sort of medal contention. There were 1 or 2 swimmers from south of the border that actually knocked her out of getting an actual medal, but she was certainly one of the top 3 Scots, and she's pretty well there at the first 100, 108.62, but the advantage with another very good breaststroker, Lucy Nimmo, 107.95, or in lane 1.
Yeah, it's City of Glasgow controlling this one at the moment. South Lanarkshire with Melissa Menny going well in number 5. Amber Hinton, the 13-year-old with that white cap, just challenging for the lead there. The 13-year-old, another 13-year-old here, taking the start in this 400 freestyle. Final heat of the 3 heats. Amber Hinton in 3rd place behind Melissa Menny and behind Lucy Nimmo, who still leads them.
You kind of think Amber Hinton and Melissa Menny have got to keep pushing away. Amber Hinton's got to try and encourage Melissa Menny to keep this strong pace going if they've got any chance of getting inside 450. I don't think 442 is anywhere achievable for any of the swimmers now at 2:22.52 for Melissa.
Not too far away from the pace that we saw in that previous heat, and that was a 4:50 swim. So second half of the race coming up now. Can anyone push on here? Melissa Menny probably looking like the most likely there. Amber Hinton going well. Ella Cunningham also just close to us, another City of Glasgow swimmer. Ella Cunningham coming through nicely here, probably almost into 3rd place, I think, Ella Cunningham. Although up the opposite end of the pool is Lucy Nimmo, and I think Eva Ross is in the outside lane. So City of Glasgow in the chasing pack, but Melissa Menny and Amber Hinton 1 and 2 at the minute.
just kind of get the feeling she's just beginning to pull away a wee bit. Melissa now at a 37 split. So I think we're going to find the split is going to be pretty similar to Perry's 337.21 at the 300s. But she gives her a chance to get inside 450, Paul.
Yeah, very good chance here. It's 4 swimmers now, almost, well, 3 swimmers contesting for second place, I should have said, because Melissa Minnie's got a clear lead at the front of the field. Amber Hinton just making a little bit of inroads in there to the lead that she had, as did Ella Cunningham as well. So it's all kind of closing up now as that split. She said, Robert, 337, pretty similar to what we saw in the previous heat. And that was a 450 swim. And the youngster, the 13-year-old with a white cap, is really pushing on here. Ella Cunningham going well in that outside lane. Might be in contention for the leads here. It's going to be an interesting one as they go over this final turn.
Well, can they get inside 450? 415. It's I don't think they're going to get inside 450, Paul. They might not even be as fast as Perry was in the previous heat, but we've got a cracking race ahead. Ella Stevenson, my money's on the swimmer, the 14-year-old in lane 8 here, Paul. She's putting a determined late charge. I'll probably, having said that, I'll probably get it totally wrong. Amber Hinton's coming through very strongly at the death to get this, maybe. It's the white cap of Dumfries. It's Amber Hinton, the youngster that's going to take. Oh, she's sprinting at the end. Oh my goodness. What a finish from Amber. Ella Cunningham 451.50 and Melissa Menny 451.60. What a finish from that Dumfries swimmer at the end. Amber Hinton was giving it everything down that last 5 metres.
Well, it was head down into the wall. That's good to see for Amber Hinton at the end of the 400. Great finish there. Ella Cunningham did come through for second place, but she couldn't match that finish of Amber Hinton, and that was what made the difference in the end.
It was indeed.
Great presence of mind there to remember what she's been taught in training. Keep your head down in that last 5 metres.
No breathing.
No breathing. Hit that wall. And that's exactly what the youngster did, and a great finish. That is what you like to see.
Yeah, fantastic. And first 5 home, all under their entry time, and I think they're all very pleased with that. Having a wee bit of blether, and yeah, well done, girls. On to the boys now. It's first of our 5 heats. We have in 1 Lewis Maxwell Powers from Warner Bass Club. His teammate Alexander McNiven goes in 2. 3 is Aaron Dunn, City Glasgow. 4 Fraser Dow, Perth City. 5 Kyle Mossman, City Glasgow. 6 is Kenneth Trainer, South Lanarkshire, and teammate Finlay Bennett is in 7. Times just under the 450 mark for our first heat. 447.58 through to 449.89. So let's hope that some of these lads can get somewhere close to 440. That, I'm sure, is what they'll be hoping to do. As I've said, Paul, a lot of the times are an awful lot slower than our entry times, because most of these lads and lasses are still in serious training for things like the summer meet and British Championships that are coming up over the next few weeks. So they'll still be in hard training, the vast majority. So it's just about practicing the race and racing over the afternoon before we get to more serious events in mid and late July. So South Lanarkshire swimmer, I think, Kenneth Trainer, well, almost in a lead, was in the lead, 105.58 after 100, Paul. And
it's been good this week, Robert, to see all the like the big internationalists that are going to, like, the FINA World Championships. I'm not sure we've seen any today of our World Championship team, but we've certainly seen them over the last couple of days. And also the Para World Championships, which are slightly after the FINA World Championships. So it's good to see these big stars here taking part in the Scottish Nationals, isn't it?
Yeah, and they are actually treating it seriously, as they always do, but they're also taking it as an opportunity to just, you know, add another race and race conditions to the belt before they go off and compete at that level.
Yeah, Lucy Hope was very fast last night, wasn't she?
Yeah.
In that, that 200 freestyle, almost close to her personal best. Katie Shanahan wasn't too far away, and Duncan Scott looked good.
pretty good. Yeah, well, 2 or 3 seconds outside his time, but it was a very solid, steady swim. And you know, posted details on social media of how much he was looking forward to his swims over the Saturday.
Of course, Cara Hanlon we saw on day one as well, performed pretty well. So nice to see the people who are on their way to Japan.
Yeah,
doing the championship some justice here. So, good to see these young swimmers as well, mixing with the big stars as well.
Yeah, we've got a lot of good youngsters coming through into those finals, getting the opportunity to compete. So Kenneth Trainor still maybe about a second and a half ahead, Paul, from the wonder swimmer on the far side in the red cap, Lewis Maxwell Pearls. But Kenneth Trainor really getting to work now in the second half of the race. Wow, he's stretching away quite significantly.
All 14-year-olds in this one, Robert, with the exception of one 17-year-old. That's Aaron Dunn from the city of Glasgow. The old man of this heat in lane number 3. All the 14-year-olds alongside him. And the South Lanarkshire swimmer, Kenneth Trainor, still leads them at the 300 mark. He's gone over 3:30.41. Just extending his lead marginally over the rest of the field. Second position on the opposite side of the pool, Lewis Maxwell Powell's, and Fraser Dow in the centre lane in third position. It's not all over yet, but it does look good at this stage for Kenneth Trainor.
It certainly does. Fraser Dow coming through strongly in the latter stages. He's now gone second, and he's making a late charge, and you never know, Paul. It's not all done and dusted yet. But, Kenneth Trainor still looks as though he's got this one under control. Likely to come in with a time in the low 440s, Paul. And inside the final 5 metres, this has been a pretty solid swim from the first 3 home. All going to improve in their entry times. Kenneth Trainor, that's a good swim, Paul, 4:42.41. Fraser Dow, 4:43.65, and Lewis Maxwell Powell's 4:44.47.
Yeah, it was a good swim there. 4:42, nice improvement there.
In fact, first 5 home, all under their entry time, which has been a bit unusual, Paul. We've not seen too many in the heats breaking their entry time. Maybe 1 or 2, but not 5 out of 7. We're going to get 2 or 3 out of 10. That's great to see.
Oh, good start to the 400 freestyle. We go on to the second heat now. And we have Nathan Geddy in the yellow cap of Geary right at the top there. Ollie Wishart from Carnegie in lane number 1. Matthew Scott from Aberdeen in 2. Yusuf Ibrahim from City of Glasgow in 3. Alex Taylor, East Lothian, in 4. Aaron Machin, youngest in the field at 13, from City of Glasgow in lane number 5. Fergus Reid from Geary in 6. Cameron Gill from First in 7. Jamie Ferries from Aberdeen in lane number 8. And Jude Mowbray from City of Glasgow going in lane number 9. Out fastest is Alex Taylor, right in the middle of the pool, and at the top of your picture there, Nathan Geddy in second position. But looks like Nathan Geddy may well be taking up the running here as they come down towards the 100 metre mark. The entry times for all the swimmers only separated by about 2.5 seconds across the whole pool, so not really a surprise to see swimmers from the outside lanes contesting the lead here. In fact, the 2 outside lanes might be 1 and 2. Nathan Geddy in first, Jude Mowbray in second as they go through the 100.
Good start from the outside lanes. Just coming back to times that might get them into a B final. And it is a big ask, Paul. We were talking about the girls having to find 15 seconds. Well, the guys have got to find a little bit less in the last heat, 4:38.90, 4:27.81. Well, it's 11 seconds roughly, but in real terms it's still very similar to what the girls have got to do in percentage terms.
What was the what's the reserve position for the 400?
Well, the reserve,
anticipating that we might have some withdrawals for tonight.
Well, fourth reserve is 4:29.62.
Right. Okay.
So it's still sub 4:30. So the guys have still got to find virtually 9 seconds. And yeah, they'll maybe find 3 or 4, but to get 9 or 10 seconds, and that's got to be the fastest swimmer.
Yeah.
Some of the slower swimmers might have to find 12 or 13. It can be done, as we all know, but easier if you're a 12 or a 13-year-old rather than a 15 or a 16-year-old.
Well, it's a good performance at the minute from the 15 and 16-year-olds at the head of this field. Jude Mowbray right at the bottom, a 15-year-old from City of Glasgow, and Nathan Geddy, the 16-year-old from Geary, right at the top. They have taken this one out on either side of the pool. The swimmers in the centre lanes. I don't think they'll be aware of the leaders right on the outside. They'll be aware of each other.
Yeah,
but you might just see some little bit of splashes alongside them, but it's quite a far way to look across and see where you are with these swimmers in the outside lanes. But 4 and 5 having a good battle there. Alex Taylor and Aaron Machin, but Jude Mowbray and Nathan Geddy, they are having a head-to-head, although they don't know it because they're separated by the whole pool.
Maybe just Jude Mowbray with the advantage now, Paul. Very, very hard to tell. It's quite deceptive at either side. But it is lane 9 now that's gone into the lead, 3:29.98. So I think we're looking at a time around 4:42 or thereabouts for Jude if he can keep this strong finish going.
Well, that'd be a good improvement for him. 5 seconds.
Will. Yeah.
Might just slip under that 4:40 mark. We can keep this pace and we can just pick it up very slightly. Well, he's got to that top end.
He's got to almost swim as fast as Luke Hornsey, Paul, to do that.
That's not an easy thing to do.
That's not easy. No, that's certainly not easy. Mowbray comes round, another 36.54. Well, he would have to come back sub 33.5. You'd fancy maybe a 34.5, 35. So 4:41, 4:42. That'll be a good finish.
Yeah, well, anything under that entry time of 4:47, he's certainly going to be under that.
Yep.
Maybe Alex Taylor coming back in the centre here, maybe challenging for this one. Jude Mowbray still going to lead, I think. Alex Taylor going well. Nathan Geddy saw a great race on the outside lane, but it is going to be Jude Mowbray into the wall, just on the 4:41 mark there. Great swim from him and Alex Taylor. And Cameron Gill gets that one, and Aaron Machin. Nathan Geddy, I'm not sure that 4:44 for Nathan Geddy. I'm sure he was behind the other two there, but that's the time that he was given there. Must have been a fast finish for Aaron Machin and Cameron Gill. So Jude Mowbray taking that one, 4:41.
Again, little the first 3 home there, faster than their entry time, Paul. And the other ones, 5th and 4th and 5th, very close. So it's a good race there. Final heat. 0, Luke Scott, Dumfries. 1, Daniel Henry, City of Glasgow. 2, Luke Littler, Derwentside. 3 is Nathan Wilson from Carnegie. 4, Kieran Brown, Aberdeen. 5, Rio Wilson at Warner the Bass Club. 6 is Jake Ferguson from First. 7, Connor Brearley, Dundee City Aquatics. 8, Kyle Harper, South Ayrshire. And 9, Kyle Connolly goes from the City of Glasgow. So as we said, 4:38.90 and 4:39.90 for both Nathan Wilson, Wilson, Kieran Brown with that 4:38.90. Those are the only 3 swimmers just with entry times sub 4:40, but they've got to find best part of 10 seconds or so to get them inside the time for a B final, or maybe even have a chance of being one of the reserves. So a fairly level start for the whole of the field, Paul, as we're approaching the first 100. hard to tell. Might just be lane 3, Nathan Wilson. Is Nathan, I think, from Carnegie, just with the advantage, 104.69. Well, virtually the same split as the previous one, Paul. So we're looking at if that's a steady pace for most of these guys, pacing pretty close to their entry time, you would think.
Yeah, certainly. Nathan Wilson 4:39.90. You're going to be looking at somewhere around about that sort of pace there. And it looks like in second place, maybe Luke Littler. As we get that great head-on shot there, you see the power of the swimmers as they come into that turn. That's lane number 4, Kieran Brown coming in there. He's been headed by Rio Wilson in lane number 5. Nathan Wilson still holds the lead, but one line up from Nathan Wilson. Luke Littler is beginning to challenge now as they come down to the halfway point. We'll see where they're standing at halfway, Robert.
Yeah, Littler is sprinted clear down this fourth 50. And the Carnegie swimmer just keeping that same steady rhythm, whereas Littler slightly faster stroke rate, you can see. There's only half a second in it, and 35.56, 36.65. That wee bit injection of pace has just pulled them into the lead. As we said earlier, we're probably pacing pretty close to entry time. Every chance they might go a wee bit faster than entry time, but they're not going to be threatening anywhere close to, I think, the low to mid 4:30s.
No, well, be aware that it's one and only opportunity to do this 400. That's unlikely to make that final, so the swimmer's got to make the most of it this afternoon. Luke Littler looking pretty good there, but it's very close indeed. Nathan Wilson in second, Daniel Hendry in third place, Rio Wilson in fourth place. Those three on the far side look like they're just forging ahead now, and it might be Daniel Henry possibly into the 300 mark, and it's very close between the three with 100 to go.
Key to get as much of the turn as you can. You still think that the Carnegie lad still looks as though he's got a little bit left in the tank. He's not been dropped, which suggests that he's hanging in there. Daniel Henry has the advantage. There's half a second or so between them, Paul. It's the makings of a fantastic last 50. We've had some cracking races throughout the 3 days, and I did say that I thought that Nathan had still a wee bit left in the tank. He's still got a wee bit left in the tank. He's gone back into the lead, and it's all to play for Daniel Henry in lane 1 is responding, but Nathan Wilson is beginning to just get to work again. It's Wilson and Henry. It's a cracking race we've got, Paul.
Yeah, into the last stages now. It looks like Nathan Wilson might just take it, but Henry is beginning just to stroke a little bit faster, but he's not going to catch Nathan Wilson, I don't think. Nathan Wilson into the wall, and a great finish there. 4:37.41 and 4:38.18. So 2 excellent times at the front of the field. Luke Littler also a good improvement on his time as well. So top 3 will be delighted with their performances there. And a good fight out in the closing stages there between Daniel Henry and Nathan Wilson.
Yeah, that was very well controlled by Nathan. I'm very impressed with how he didn't panic. Sometimes you get to that point at 300, right, I've been dropped into third place, and the stroke just goes erratic, but the stroke was virtually right throughout, consistent, kept the same rhythm, and it was wonderful to see that. And that's if you're watching the live stream again, and some of you younger swimmers, of maybe 12, 13-year-olds, that's how you control your stroke. It's not about necessarily splash and dash. It's keep the control throughout, and just listen to what your coach tells you, and you get there. Well done to Nathan there, and well done to Daniel, and also to look at. It's a really good race we had.
So we're dropping the distance now. We are into the 100 metres butterfly, so 2 lengths of the pool. We have 4 heats of this one, and the first heat, Charlotte Craig in lane number 2 from Ren 96, Ella McGeorge from Cooper in lane number 3. Beth Manson might be first to the wall in the centre lanes in lane number 4. In fact, oh, she's not actually. She's fourth into the wall there. But anyway, Ciara Bailey from Cooper in lane number 5, and Abby McMillan from City of Glasgow in lane number 6. So
she's maybe leading now, Paul.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if that was the right. I'm going to say the split wasn't right when it came up there, but
I'm sure you were right. The split wasn't right. Yeah.
Beth Manson going to take this one, I think. Maybe she's been pressed by Charlotte Craig there. Charlotte Craig might be the one to take it in the end. Charlotte Craig will get that one.
Yeah, the 12-year-old from Ren sneaks in under the radar and gets a nice wee PB, Paul. 1:13.43. Sneaks about 7/10 off that 1:14.11. Well done, Charlotte. On to our second heat. Caitlin Hamilton, South Lanarkshire, goes in 0-1. Freya Keeling, Carnegie 2. Ella Wood 4, Falcons 3. Jessica Ridley, Borough Stockton 4. Daisy McInnes, City Glasgow 5 is Mary Wood, University of Aberdeen Performance. In fact, we have an empty lane in lane 0. 6 is Kate Nolan, Warner Bass Club. 7, Lauren Brawley, Faulthouse Penguins. 8, Lucy Morgan, University of Aberdeen Performance. And in 9, Anna Perry, Warner Bass Club. In fact, sorry, my apologies, Caitlin Hamilton. She must have been late in surfacing, Paul. She is taking part over in lane 0. The early leader, Mary Wood, in lane 5, 30.73. Times are 1:12 through to 1:13. Our leaders well clear. Mary Wood storming down the final 25 or so.
Yeah, I think she was one that we saw in in this morning's heat. So
coming through strongly in second place, I think, in the far side, Freya Keeling, the 13-year-old, and also well there, Daisy McInnes in lane 4. A very, very strong finish. Mary Wood 1:09.59. Freya Keeling 1:12.72 inside her entry time. Daisy McInnes 1:13.09. A very, very good swim from Mary there. 1:09.59. Freya Keeling will also be pleased with a 1:12.72. The Carnegie swimmer in second place, also inside her entry time. Just a couple inside their entry times there, Paul. We move on to the third heat. So we have Emma Leggett in lane 1 from South Lanarkshire. In lane 2, Freya Masson from Shetland. In lane 3, Millie Convent, Dumfries 3. Julia Leslie, Stockport Metro 4. Riley McIntosh, Dundee City Aquatics 5. Eva Kirkham first 6. Sophia Filoni, Moni Fife 7. Ailsa Club, Aberdeen Dolphins 8. Emily Dickens, City Glasgow at 9. Iona Casapidis, Carnegie 1:11.23 to 1:12.11. So barely a second cover the whole field, Paul. Fairly tight at the moment, but Riley McIntosh perhaps, pink cap of Dundee City Aquatics, just ahead of Eva Kirkham.
Yeah, the youngest in this field there is Riley McIntosh, and she leads there 1:11.23 the entry time. So that's about a lead of about 14/100ths of a second there with Riley McIntosh just leading here. Eva Kirkham, these two look like they are ahead of the rest of the field. It's very close for third position, but it's a real head-to-head battle at the front here. Riley McIntosh just having the edge possibly, but Eva Kirkham now coming back here. Looks like she might have the stronger finish here. Eva Kirkham in lane number 5 from first is going to touch first, and let's see what the time is. 1:10.55. Good improvement for her. Riley McIntosh just was pipped in the closing stages of that one, and she finishes second in that 1:11.93 with Emily Dickens in third there, just winning a close contest
not
there.
much.
Equal for fourth position there between Sophia Faloni
and Iona Chrysopidis.
Yeah, so very close contest there. Here's the fourth heat. Sophie Steele from South Ayrshire in 0. Kira Bain from Highland in 1. Perry Scobie back in the water again in 2. Ellen Denny from Geary in 3. Anna Kachenko, City of Glasgow in 4. Eva Gordon from Stirling Swim in 5. Abby Barnstable from South Lanarkshire in 6. Safrina Machin, City of Glasgow in 7. Cara White from Ren 96 in lane number 8, and the youngster Amy Rowell from City of Glasgow, 13 years of age, in that outside lane. We have all the swimmers, and I think first one to show probably Safrina Machin.
Yeah, she'd got a very good start ball. Well, just ahead, 31.35 from Perry Scobie, who is back again. Well, I didn't realise that Perry was over that far side. And she'd had a very solid freestyle. She's having a very solid butterfly, and she's giving it everything down the final stretch. Might actually be Perry Scobie who's just forged ahead of Safrina Machin. Not much in it, Paul. The other side of the pool, just beginning to tie up a wee bit maybe. And inside the final few metres, Safrina Machin, Perry Scobie, and Ellen Denny. I think that's the 1, 2, 3. Well, a good time, 108.41. 108.41 will get Safrina Machin as the first reserve.
Oh, first reserve for the B final?
For the B final, yeah. We've got a big gap. 107.92 is the slowest, through to a 108.74. That's a big gap. But Safrina will be,
well, there we go,
our first reserve. She might actually get a swim after all that, and that would be quite unusual, given what we've had the last couple of days, Paul, for someone to get into a final.
Well, we'll see what happens on this final heat number 4. Can anyone challenge that 108.41?
Well, yeah. Well, they might do, Paul. It's every chance.
And the men's now, 100 metres butterfly. Charlie Ward, Robert Stockton, Logan Jackson, University of Aberdeen performance. Lewis Maxwell Powell's Warren Darbas. Oscar Chirnside back in the water again. He had a great 1500 yesterday. Rory Gallagher, Warren Darbas, Jack Stockerty Simpson, one of your favourites, Robert. He's in for Scotia in lane 6. Yeah. Matthew Prytek from University of Aberdeen performance in 7. Jed Armitage from Highland in 8. So we've got Jack Doherty Simpson, not Jack Simpson.
Not Jack Simpson from South Lanarkshire, no, Jack Doherty Simpson from Scotia. You don't get many Scotia swimmers. It's one of the wee clubs. It's actually the club that Katie Shannon started with, would you believe?
And where's that based, Scotia?
It's Bishopbriggs area of Glasgow. So, that's Charlie Ward has nailed this one by some margin, hasn't he, Paul?
Let's have a check on the time here. 103.78. That's a massive swim there from Charlie Ward. 106.20 was the entry time, so he's improved that massively.
Yeah.
And second place, also inside the 106 mark, was Jack Doherty Simpson, 105.58. So he's improved his entry time as well. Rory Gallagher just outside his entry time in the 106 mark. So 103.78. What kind of time are we looking for the reserve spots there, Robert?
We're looking at 58.76 for fourth reserve. So I don't think it's anywhere achievable, certainly not in 100 butterfly. Anyway, 0, Robbie Thompson from Shetland in 0-1. Archie MacArthur, Inverclyde. 2, Archie Smith, Aberdeen Dolphins. 3, Ewan Watson, Renfrew Baths. 4, Henry Sullivan Burns, Aberdeen Dolphins. 5 is Logan Scally, University of Aberdeen Performance, and his teammate. In 6 is Dan Hall. 7, Kyle Wong, City Glasgow. 8, Atanas Irikov from the Broch, and 9, Josh Stephen from Warner Baths.
Is it the Broch or Broch?
I call it the Broch, and I'm sticking
Broch
with that.
Seals.
Yeah.
Is it Brock Seals? I'm sure it used to be Brock Seals. I'm not sure if they've been renamed.
I don't know if they just called it Brock, but yeah.
Well, these captions, not quite right. Archie MacArthur, I'm sure, would be pleased with a 20.50 freestyle swim.
Yeah.
Or 50 butterfly even. Well, it is Shulaya Barnes first at the moment in lane number 4. Ewan Watson now trying to make a little bit of an impression in the closing stages here. Entry times 103.79 for Shulaya Barnes. 3 swimmers coming into the wall together, and it is Ewan Watson takes the touch. Henry Shulaya Barnes in second, and there is Archie MacArthur. Not quite a 20-second 50,
Not
but
quite.
a nice finish there in a 103 for Archie MacArthur. He'd be pleased with that one. Very pleased, in fact. A couple of seconds off his time.
Well, a touch of deja vu. We had a disqualification.
Oh, so we did.
Atanas Rinkov, I'm sure, had a disqualification this morning.
It was, yeah.
And as a qualification this afternoon for a technical infraction, we suspect it may have been at the start, but we just don't know.
It did look like the start this morning, didn't it? I didn't notice the start this afternoon.
No. So, Heat 3, Ewan McLeod, South Lanarkshire. 1, Lewis Condy, Stirling University. 2, Ishmael Shalaby, Wonder Bass. 3, Nikolai Sisnet, City Glasgow. 4, Matthew Martin, Renfrew Bass. 5, Guy Pelosi, City Glasgow. 6, James Cowdrey, Highland Swim Team. 7, Tom Jeffers, Ren 96. 8, Liam Gorzinski, Money Fife. And 9, Ben Montgomery, Stirling Swimming. 103s till 25 to 103.77. Hardly half a second cover the whole field in this poll.
Some big improvements though, Robert. 102.97 on that previous one. So
yeah, a few seconds
let's hope for another
off.
one again.
Well, it's Tom Jeffers and Liam Gorzinski, Ben Montgomery at this side of the pool. At the moment, it's still the Wren lad that has the advantage, coming through very strongly in 4. Matthew Martin from Renfrew Baths. It's Matthew Martin who's prevailing from Nikolai Sisnet in lane 3. That's going to be the 1-2, I think. Martin, Sisnet, well, lane 6 perhaps. James Cowdrey might have just snatched second ahead of Nikolai Sisnet. Well, not much between them. Matthew Martin, 102.44. Sisnet, 103.11. And Cowdrey, 103.32.
Again, great times
Again,
there, front of the field, 102.44. The heat's getting a little bit faster again.
Yeah, first 3 home, all faster than they were earlier on. And entries, 0, Luke Gawkin, Billingham. 1, David Lindman, City Glasgow. 2, John Taylor, University of Aberdeen Performance. 3 is Fraser Tetlow, Gary. 4, Fraser McLaughlin, Elgin. 5, Lewis Stevenson, South Ayrshire. 6, Tom Liversidge, South Aberdeenshire. 7, Kyle Mitchell, Gary. 8, Benjamin Beale, Derwentside. And 9, Tom Armitage, Highland Swim Team. 101.87 to 103.11. So about a second and a half cover them. And entries, good start in lane 2 from John Taylor. Also coming through Kyle Mitchell and Tom Liversidge in 7 and 6 respectively. Making a move, Lewis Gibson in 5. And now coming through very strongly, Fraser McLaughlin in lane 4. Well, it's all changed little in the space of about 10 metres, Paul. Lewis Gibson, Tom Liversidge and Fraser McLaughlin, 28.97.
It's pretty tight at the front of the field here. Wonder where this one is going to go. Lewis Gibson had a very fast reaction time, 0.56 faster than the others, and that saw him clear in the first 50 here. Here he comes in to the finish now. I think Lewis Gibson might just take this one, but Benjamin Beale going well right down closest to us in lane number 8. I think it's between these two. All on the finish here, and it is Benjamin Beale takes it, 102.44. Exactly the same as we saw in that previous heat. And Lewis Gibson just missing out by 0.2 of a second, but it was Beale who finished the stronger there, 102.44. I was going to say the heat's getting faster, but it was exactly the same as that previous heat. And the final heat is out. Max Pelosi on the far side from City of Glasgow. James Body from Geary in 1. Cameron Shaw from first in lane 2. Rory Webster from Dumfries in 3. Lucas Brown Elgin in 4. David Smith from Glenrothes in 5. Jensen Norris in 6th, next to his teammate James Gordon. They're from Perth City in 6 and 7. Joshua Robinson, Derwentside in 8, and Ross Anderton goes for East Lothian, the 15-year-old in the outside lane, in lane number 9. So
David Smith, I think, just the best start overall. He might just be leading Paul at halfway.
Well, David Smith there, 27.55, a nice start from the Glenrothes swimmer, and he is looking to try and dip under that 1 minute mark. He's given himself a great chance here, 27.55. He should be able to dip under the 1 minute mark if he can keep this pace going. Lucas Brown in 2nd position at the turn, but coming back strongly right down at the bottom is Joshua Robinson, but it is going to be David Smith into the wall here. He is under the 1 minute. Look at that, 59.71. He'll be delighted with that one. 101.38 for 2nd position. That was Joshua Robinson. A range of people on the 101 range, Robert, but David Smith, he went out fast, gave himself a great chance there and dipped under that 1 minute.
Yeah, fantastic. Went out pretty strongly and just began to pull away gradually down that first stretch. And it's key to get a good start in a 50 or 100, because if you don't, the race is almost done and dusted. It's not so bad over a 2 or a 400, but yeah, if you miss the start, you've almost missed the race.
It's nice to see people getting under these barriers, isn't it? 59.71 for David.
So we move to the other end of the pool, 50 metres breaststroke. Myrne McPhee, Helen Black, Alice Mackey, Lila Milne, Ruben McInnes, Rose McDermott, Rebecca Strachan, Lucy McLeod and Alexandra Miller. 2 penguins in the outside lanes from Faulthouse.
2 penguins.
2 penguins, yeah.
It's not an Aberdeen Dolphin, no.
No dolphins in this one.
It's penguin.
Just penguins. And looks like one of them might be leading. On the near side, Alexandra Miller going well. Over on the far side, there's not much between Helen Black and Myrne McPhee. And we'll see how this one develops. It's very tight over on the far side between Myrne and Helen. And on this side, it's Alexandra Miller. Alexandra Miller takes that. I think it's over the far side, Helen Black. Lucy McLeod just snatches 3rd. And the winning time, 38.22, 38.90 for Helen Black. Lucy McLeod, 38.98, and Myrne McPhee, 39.10. All
Brilliant.
under their entry time, Paul. So 4 out of 9 under their entry time. Great to see.
Great stuff there. A nice way to start 50 breaststroke. 6 heats in this one. This is the 2nd one coming up now. Maya Reynard up there in lane 0, Aberdeen Dolphin. We have a Dolphin in this one. Millie Searle, Geary, Isla Cool, Bucky, Ellen Denny, Geary, Manon Shembry from Perth City, Molly Irvin Watson, Dumfries, Iona Lim from Scotia, Jessica Powell, Elgin, Simone Finlayson from Dundee City Aquatic, and Ciara Anderson from West Lothian. We're following a bit more a traditional feel. This one in the centre lanes, Marion Shembry, but Maya Reynard from Aberdeen Dolphin are going very strong right up there at the top. Everyone coming back on her now as we go through. Millie Searle coming through strongly, the 12-year-old from Geary, but it is going to be the centre lane swimmer, I think. Manon Shembry will get this one. Let's watch the time, 38.50 for her.
Yeah, very strong swim, 38.50 for Manon. Millie Searle also inside her entry time, just 39.13. Molly Irvin Watson will be pleased with a 3rd place, 39.58, I'm sure. Pretty solid swim. So 2 under the entry time. We have Zusia Smith in 0. 1 is Cara Gumbrell. 2, Caitlin Parnaby. 3, Lauren Elder. 4, Caroline Ray. 5, Evie Chan. 6, Hannah Lindsay. 7, Katie Anderson. 8, Sarah Kay. And 9, Gina Wren. No dolphins or penguins in this one, Paul.
Phew.
So 38.50 to 38.99, half a second cover the whole field. So hope they might spread out a wee bit to make it easier for us getting a 1, 2, 3 pole. Lane 1 going fairly well, Carragumbro, around 96. Coming through into challenge, Lorne Elder from Forfar. And she's going very nicely, the Forfar swimmer, Lorne Elder. Oh, it's very tight. Lorne Elder, I think, has got this one. Lorne Elder, is this a Smith Carragumbro? That's the way I'm calling it.
Yeah,
did I get it right?
Yeah, looks good to me, Robert. 38.13 for Elder. Takes that one ahead of Smith and Gumbro in second. So another improvement. The improvements keep coming on this 50 breaststroke. So we go into heat number 4.
Yeah, first 3 home, all under their entry time. Great to see one of the wee clubs for Falcons, Lorne Elder, taking that. Well done, Lorne. Tara Montgomery, Anna Lawson, Iona Henderson, Amelia Burrow, Keelan Chan, Madison Cool, Katie Campbell, Veronica Molozewska, Kizzy McCappin and Victoria Grabowska. And we have a dolphin in this one, Paul, just to keep you on your toes. Good. Katie Campbell in lane 6. It's all pretty level at halfway mark, maybe lane 1. Anna Lawson, East Lothian swim team. All to play for with about 20 to go. Victoria Grabowska even in lane 9, not far out. Keisha McCappin in 8. Oh, it's a tight finish. Keisha McCappin in 8, I think is going to get this one. 8, lane 3 perhaps in second. Kellen Chan, Amelia Burrow in third. It was Keisha McCappin, 37.97. Well, they keep getting fast. That's their first one under the 38 second mark. Well done, Keisha.
What we're looking for a qualification? Probably a 4th reserve, Robert.
Dare I say a miracle? But
well,
yeah, it really is. It's you're looking at 36.24.
Oh well,
it is possibly doable. Maybe in the last heat to get fourth reserve.
Well, here's the penultimate heat coming on. They're on the 37 mark.
Yeah, you need
Millie Colville, Daisy McInnes, Avina Casapides, Emma Price, Victoria Weir, Caitlin Urquhart, Anna Perry, Kira Wiseman, Kaya Masterman and Ava McDermott. And well, they're all in the 37.5 range here. Well, 37.51 through to 37.90. So I wonder if anyone can make a little bit of a jump in this 50 breaststroke. They need to get into the 36 mark, so they're going to get another swim tonight, and it'd be a really good swim from anyone if they're going to get inside that. The top lanes here going well. Daisy McInnes, Savina Casapides. Looks like Daisy McInnes might take this one right at the top here, and she is in the 36 range. Well, 36.82. Is that close, Robert?
It's close, but not close enough. 36.82 based on what we've had. We'd put her somewhere in about 30th position, just inside the
30th position.
Yeah, 32nd position.
And what was
overall?
The time she was looking for a 4th reserve?
36.02. So she has to find another
almost another 36.02.
Yeah, almost has to find another half a second or so. Still a great swim.
Yeah, excellent. Daisy McInnes, the 14-year-old there, taking that one. And the final heat, Betty Fisher-Keel from Inverclyde, Beth Craik from Aberdeen, Taylor Smith St Thomas, Lily Mundell from Heart of Midlothian, Abby Whitfield Derwent-side, Ailey McNichol from Glenrothes, Caris Mooney, City of Glasgow, Grace Noonan from Mulgallion Bearsden, Sarah Denson, Monifieth, and Eva Ross from City of Glasgow.
Well, 37.09 is the fastest time, and they've got to find a second on that. And that's still a big ask, Paul, given that there's no one really pulling away at this early stage. Grace Noonan maybe in 7, going well. Over on the far side in lane 1, Beth Craig, Lily Mundell coming through. Beth Craig's got this one from lane 1. I think, well, no, 7. Mulgallion Bearsden from Beth Craig. I think Grace Noonan, Beth Craig, Lily Mundell well there, along with Taylor Smith. Was Grace Noonan 36.60, 36.69 for Beth Craig. It was tight between the two of them. Betty Fisher-Keogh over in lane 0. 37.31, 36.60, pretty good time, Paul. And
Yeah, brilliant times there for those two.
Yeah, that would put her just outside the top 30. And that's pretty decent, given we had best part of 50 swimmers earlier on this morning. So well done.
Yeah.
It's back to the guys now. It's their turn to see what they can do on the 50 breaststroke.
Yeah, so 5 heats of this 50 breaststroke coming up now. Luke McCall, Jedris Pridowski and Keir Campbell. Those are the 3 swimmers in this first heat. We have 2 15-year-olds, Luke McCall and Keir Campbell, and in the middle of the 2 15-year-olds, a 16-year-old, Jedris Pridowski, in that middle lane for Heart of Midlothian. They're all around about 35.5 second mark, so anything under 35.5 will be a good swim for these 3 swimmers. The red cap of Vornderbath there for Luke McCall, off to a good start. Got off the blocks pretty well, Luke McCall, but it's not much in it at all here. Luke McCall and Keir Campbell maybe just heading Pridowski, the Heart of Midlothian swimmer. It looks like Keir Campbell might have the strength in the closing stages here with that blue cap off first. Let's check the times. Yeah, 34.79 for the swimmer from first. That's an excellent way to start this 50 metre breaststroke event for the men. Luke McCall under his entry time, and just above the entry time was Pridowski. So 34.79, that's the target for this next heat. And line up for this one: Tara Murphy, Ben Grant, John Mackay, Blair Woodward, Finlay Byrne, Rudry Vick, Lewis Graham, Riley Griffin and John Thompson. 34.79, Robert. Nice swim in that first heat.
Yeah, nice to get us underway with a good PB. Strong start in lane 2, John Mackay from Stirling University. It's a slight advantage, they're beginning to come back at him though. Finishing very strongly in 6th, Lewis Graham, also from Stirling University, and he's hits the front, and he's got this one well wrapped up now. Lewis Graham, and lane 4, 2 and 4 I think. Blair Woodward in lane 3 and Ben Grant in 1. I meant 3 and 1, not 4 and 2. Blair Woodward, Portobello 34.80 and Ben Grant 35.04. Nice swim there for Lewis.
Yeah, massive improvement, wasn't it?
Big improvement.
A second and a half there on a 50 breaststroke. Wow.
Yeah. Heat 3, Ian Henderson, Rowan Brown, Jimmy Lynn, Kyle Connolly, Cameron Shaw, Eclavia Singh, Luca Hall, Luke Scott, Tyler Coots and Finlay Brown. 34.5 to 34.89. Well, they need really to find the best part of 2.5 seconds, Paul, in this heat to trouble the judges. But in these early stages, you're really looking for maybe a second. If they can knock a second off, it's fantastic. And coming through strongly in lane 4, Cameron Shaw from first. His teammate won the first heat. Also travelling well, Borough Stockton swimmer Luca Hall, I think maybe just going to prevail. Luca Hall, lane 4 and lane 5, Cameron Shaw and Eclavia Singh. I think that might be the 1, 2, 3. Luca Hall is indeed the winner. 34.30. Cameron Shaw 34.56. Lavia 34.86. And first 2 home inside their entry time. Lane heat 4, Yusuf Ibrahim, Joe Crawford, Tyler Stewart, Calvin McDonald, Guy Pelosi, Kieran Hayes, Aidan Bruce, Hamish Coates, Sam Ross and Lewis Conde. 33.89 to 34.48. So we're going to try and find a couple of seconds to get into final in this one.
Well, it looks like maybe lane number 3 with the best start there, Calvin McDonald. Got away very fast, but lane number 6 and 5 going well. Aidan Bruce and Kieran Hayes now coming through. You know, it's all very tight here. Maybe lane number 3 still there though. Calvin McDonald, difficult to tell from the angle. They'll all flatten out in front of us now, and it is Calvin McDonald Yeah, clearly ahead here, and he's going to take it in 33.21. Another good swim there, an improvement of around about 0.8 of a second for Kelvin. Tyler Stewart 34.01. He gets in for second position, improving his entry time. And Kieran Hayes just on the 34 low there, just outside his entry time. And final heat coming now. Titus Pike, Kyle Wong, Ewan Gray, Jake McKenzie, Ben McLaughlin, Ben Montgomery, Fraser McIntosh, Jonathan Cumming, Ronan Payne and Taylor Sinclair. Can anyone get close to that 32 seconds? Might see somebody dip into that, Robert.
Somebody, I think we probably see a 32 in a bit from maybe a couple of swimmers, but they're really going to find a second plus. No swimmer in 3, Ben Montgomery, Geary, that yellow cap going well. Over on the far side there's almost 3 in a line. Ewan Gray perhaps just heading that one in lane 2. It's very tight inside the final few metres. No one really motoring down the final stretch, but Ewan Gray's got this one. Ewan Gray, lane 5, perhaps in second. Ben Montgomery, well, Fraser McIntosh actually got the second touch. Well, we didn't see a 32, we saw 33.66. Ewan Gray 33.87, Fraser McIntosh, Kyle Wong 33.93. Actually, all these swimmers swimming slower than their entry time. So the only one so far, Safina Machin, that's managed to get potential swim as first reserve. She might actually give a swim this evening once all the withdrawals and everything have been put together. So
look at this, Robert, 11 heats of this 50 freestyle. Well, it's the most heats that we've got here, I think.
Do you want me to disappear and leave you to do this and I'll be back in half an hour? Or
well, whatever you think. You got somewhere better to be.
Yeah. Well, 11 heats, yeah. Normally we've been maybe spoilt, if that's the right word, with maybe 7 heats perhaps the last couple of days in the afternoon. Sometimes we've had 7 heats, but yeah, 11. Okay.
That's first of them: Hannah Anderson, Laurie Joyce, Grace Wilson, Sarah McNaughton, Kayla Johnson and Cara White. Their entry times just over the 30-second mark. Then 3 swimmers entered on 30.35, so I wonder if anyone can dip under the 30 here. Maybe lane number 4, Grace Wilson, also going well. Hannah Anderson as well on that far side. Laurie Joyce going well, but it might be Grace Wilson into the wall, just stretching for it. Oh, 30.00. Yeah. That's unfortunate. She would have loved to go under that, but great swim nevertheless. Improvement on the time by top 4 swimmers there.
Yeah, first 4 home, all improving on their entry times. Next heat. All these swimmers 30.29 to 30.34. They're not giving us much of a chance, Paul.
Oh.
Daisy Gildee, Robin Voss, Tella Watson, Faye Hunter, Evina Casapidis, Leona Young, Anna Perry, Abigail Deacon, Eva Laidlaw and Evie Lamont. Well, since you did such a good job calling that one home, I'll give you this one as well, Paul. You've managed 500.
500 of a second.
You've only got 9 swimmers to worry about.
Swimmers.
You've got no Faye Hunter.
Ivina Casapidis looking good there at the start of this one. Also right in the outside lane, Daisy Gildea going well. Tyler Page Watson as well. That might be the leading 3. Again, they come past us. Oh, Daisy Gildea no maybe. Here we go. Into the wall. Oh, she didn't finish that well, Daisy Gildea, and it was 3/100s for Tyler Page Watson. Yeah, look at that. 29.91.
Well, I had that as 0, 2 and 5, but it's actually 2.50.
I don't think Daisy Gildea...
Sorry,
Tyler Page Watson had a great finish there. Daisy
she did indeed.
Did just an extra little stroke there at the end.
Yeah, 2 13-year-olds dipping under that magic mark. 29, 91 and 94 respectively. Well done, girls. Isla Kidd, Ailey McNichol, Thea Glenn, Hayden Holmes, Ciara Bain, Lucy Nimmo, Lucy McLeod, Ciara Gregg, Eva Smith, Lucy McLaughlin. On this one it's 30.13 to 30.27. It's a big gap. It's double that gap or so. 30.27. 1400s. But it's still not helping us much, Paul. Isla Kid over on the far side, maybe just shades it from Ailey McNichol. That's the 1-2 and in lane 3 perhaps, Hayden Holmes. Well, we'll wait for that just to be confirmed. It's Ailey McNichol 30.29, Lucy Nimmo 30.29, Isla Kid, Hayden Holmes joint third 30.31.
Oh, that's close, that one, wow.
Yeah, all of them, vast majority, all slower than our entry time. Heat 4, 30.02 to 30.13, less than a tenth of a second. Amber Hinton, Betty Fisher-Keogh, Ella Cunningham, Ciara Bailey, Amber Little, John Casey Dixon, Chloe Kirk, Olivia Watt, Manon Shembrai, and Eva Kirkham. Well, it's, as you say, 11 heats, and they're tightly packed on entry times.
Yeah, certainly are, and should hopefully get someone under the 30 seconds here. It'd be nice to see. And all the action seems to be taking place at those top lanes, 0 and 1 going well in these early heats. Wonder if we're going to get someone on the opposite side of the pool here. Eva Kirkham going well in lane number 9. Also a good battle, Amber Hinton, Betty Fisher-Keogh and Ella Cunningham. But it might be Eva Kirkham into the wall here. It is in 29.25, and that's a huge improvement there on the entry times with Betty Fisher-Keogh and Ella Cunningham. Amber Littlejohn and Chloe Kirk tying for 4th place. Top 5 swimmers all under the 30.
That was a great swim. Joint 4th.
So 29.25, Robert.
Yeah. Alex Coy, Abby Barnstable, Caitlin Parnaby, Eva Gallagher, Caitlin Urquhart, Amy Hislop, Addison Cole, Imogen Lau, Caitlin Hamilton and Hannah Lindsay. 29.90 to exactly 3 minutes, so a tenth of a second cover all 10 swimmers in this one.
Yeah, looks like very close in the opening stages again. Maybe that far lane again might just have the edge. Maybe it's the middle of the pool this time. Possibly Caitlin Urquhart going well, and also Eva Gallagher. Really difficult to tell until they flatten out in front of us here at the commentary position. Eva Gallagher might have it, or it might go to Alex Coy in the outside lane here. Where's it going to go? It is Alex Coy, 29.48.
That was an easy one for us to call, really. 29.48, Abby Barnstable in 1, and Eva Gallagher in 3. 29.63 and 65. Unfortunately, disqualification lane 8 for a technical infraction. Heat number 6, Beth Craik, Naomi Wilson, Annabella Scatteriti, Georgia Clough, Katie Wells, Gabriella Winton, Tara Montgomery, Emily McDougall, Rosie Liston and Kaylin Chan. 29.70 to 29.89. Well, big gap in this 1.19, Paul, on entry times. It's still all pretty tight. Trying to identify who's clear in this one. Far side, Beth Craik, Naomi Wilson. I think we just shade it at the moment. Coming into the final 15 metres, Beth Craik, I think, has maybe just got this one. Beth Craik, Georgia Clough, Naomi Wilson. Is that the 1, 2, 3? Well,
yeah, Georgia Clough.
Georgia Clough, 29.55. Beth Craik, 29.67. And Katie Wells snatched third on 29.81. 6 of the swimmers under 30 seconds. 29.25 from Eva Kirkham earlier on. Still the fastest time. 0, Alice Cumming. 1, Ailey Melrose. 2, Eva Ross. 3, Madison Christopherson. 4, Sophie Steele. 5, Alice Perry. 6, Iona Henderson. 7, Kate Nolan. 8, Ella McGeorge. And 9, Rebecca Cole.
What kind of times are we looking at for 4th reserve there?
Well,
we're into the
28.
28.
It's a big drop. Big drop.
We have seen some big drops though in these early heats though, so I wonder if anyone can, well, certainly for these middle heats, it's a very big drop. When you come to the, well, it's a heat 10 and heat 11, not so much as the heats get a little bit faster in terms of qualification times. But where is this one going to go? Alice Cumming, good start
great
there.
Start.
In line 0. And she has the edge, I think. Ailey Melrose in 1. Just about in second place here, coming through Madison Christopheros in lane number 3. But Alice Cumming is going to hold on to that early lead. She had an excellent start and she's held on to that 28.86. Well done, Alice Cumming.
Second place, Sophie Steele, 29.25 and 29.36. Madison Christopheros. Board has just disappeared at the venue in front of us, but we'll wait just in case there might have been a disqualification in that one. Either that or there's a problem with maybe one of the pads registering the time, Paul.
Possibly. We'll wait and see what decision is. Of course, we can only see what we see in front of us, Robert, can't we? We're not
No,
have to rely on the technical officials, your technical official colleagues.
indeed, but maybe just double checking everything, but no difference. Alice Cumming, Sophie Steele, Madison Christopheros. So heat 8, Emily Schofield, Caitlin Reid, Veronica Mikolajewska, Lauren Anderson, Myrne McPhee, Alice Ward, Millie Shaw, Caris Moody, Eva Gordon and Bethany Firth. (29.41 to 29.50). Well, again, hardly anything on entry times, Paul. Strong start in 1. Caitlin Reid, Wonder Bath Club. And she still may have a slight advantage. Lauren Anderson trying to come through in lane number 3. It's Wonder Swimmer, Caitlin Reid still with the advantage. Lauren Anderson, I think a 1-2. And in lanes 8 perhaps, or 5.
It's a 1-1. 29-1-2, tie for first place there. Caitlin Reid and Lauren Anderson into the wall, absolutely together there ahead of Alice Ward and Eva Gordon. 29-12 for them.
Alice Ward just in lane 5, getting third ahead of Eva Gordon in 4th. So we have our 9th heat. Sophia Filoni in 0, Carragumbo 1, Ilsa Club 2, 3 Victoria Grabowska, 4 Olivia King, 5 Lucy Atherton, 6 Iona Casapidis, 7 Keisha McCormack, 8 Rose McDermott and 9 Tamia Schultz. 29.18 to 29.36.
Well, see who's going to take this one. I wonder if anyone can go under that 29-second mark. There is
Tamia Schultz in lane 9 off to a cracking start, Paul, as is in lane 2 Ilsa Club. Carragumbo coming through as well in 1. And Victoria Grabowska making a move. Oh, this is another one that's kind of close to call. Lane 2 from 9 and
another
3, I think.
Another dead heat, 28.85. Ilsa Club and Tamia Schultz tying exactly there, 28.85. So we did see them go under that 29-second mark, and that is where they finished. Great swimming here. 2 dead heats in a row.
Well, I'm glad I managed to call them when they've been that far apart, as very close, and getting my third swimmer, Victoria Grabowska, in lane 3 as a third swimmer. So we're doing okay in the commentary position, Paul. Laura Kenna, Holly Clifford, Madison Stewart, Ellen Denny, Anna Lee, Caitlin Frame, Riley McIntosh, Emma Simpson, Daisy McInnes and Emma Leggett. And this is where we'll get it totally wrong, Paul, having done so well in the last few. It's far side, Lauren Kenna going well from Marlins. Lane 4 coming through, Anna Lee from Stirling Swimming. It's Anna Lee, Caitlin Frame in 5, that's the 1-2. Let's get third place, lane 9 perhaps. Emma Leggett, job done. Anna Lee in lane 4, Caitlin Frame in 5, 28.64. 28.79, and Emma Leggett in lane 9, 29.64, takes third.
Two swimmers right in the middle there, 28.64. I think that's the fastest we've seen so far. They're edging towards that reserve spot. The last heat sees Alice Forrest from Derwent side in Zira, Anna Kachenko, City of Glasgow in 1, Emma Price, Borough Stockton in 2, Belle Cameron, City of Peterborough in 3, Stella McCarty from City of Glasgow in 4, Amelia Leslie, Stockport Metro in 5, Maya Reynard, Aberdeen Dolphin in 6, Emily Dickens and Safrina Machin in the water again. Safrina, they go City of Glasgow in 7 and 8. Emma McGavin completes the lineup in lane number 9. Can anyone dip under this low 28-second mark in lane number 4? Stella McCarty going really well in the centre here. Belle Cameron pushing her in lane 3. Alice Forrest going well right at the top here. It's going to be between Alice Forrest and Stella McCarty. Into the wall. Stella will take that one, 28-29. That's got to be close to that reserve spot, Robert.
It's close. It's 100th out.
Oh, look at that. Stella McCarty takes it, 28-29. Wonder if they could have, if they would tie in for that fourth reserve. Would be on for another swim off.
They potentially would have to, I would imagine, but I suppose thankfully they don't have to consider that. 28-29 would put her, if there are no withdrawals, 25th. And a good swim. Alice Forrest in second, Emma Price in third. Swimmers from just south of the border, Derwent side and Borough Stockton. And all these swimmers have been giving us a good account throughout the morning and afternoon sessions.
Well, another near reserve place earned in a B final, just 1/100th shy. We've got the men's 50 freestyle now, heat 1. It's just about ready to go. We've got just 8 heats of this one
just
for the
8
men.
In this one, alright.
Blair Woodward in 0, Portobello, Taryn Murphy from Carnegie in 1, Alexander Wiseman from the Cossacks in lane 2, Liam Gozinski, Montefieth in 3, Aidan Bruce from Aberdeen in 4, Logan Jackson from University of Aberdeen Performance in 5, Owen Reid Billingham in 6, Kieran Brown Aberdeen in 7, Luke Jansen from Warrender in 8, and John Thompson West Dunbartonshire in lane number 9. It's Blair Woodward off to a good start there in the far lane from us, lane number 0. Again, only 0.12 of a second between everyone in this field. But what about Liam Gozinski there from Montefieth coming through in the centre lane here? He's going to touch first. Great swim there. 26.13. He leads them through. It was Alexander Wiseman from the City of Stoke. And we got told what the Cossacks stood for earlier, Robert. Did you notice that one? It was City of Stoke Athletics Club swimming section. Cossacks.
I'm going to write that down. City of Stoke
Athletics Club.
Athletics Club
swimming section.
Swimming section. Cossacks. But there's no K.
There's no K.
There's no K.
There's just a double S.
Oh well. So City of Stoke Athletics Club swimming section. Okay. Kai Fern, Nathan Wilson, Ben Swan, Henry Sullivan, Barnes, Kieran Lee, Jared Sigurski, Callum Trainer, Stephen Laws, Lachlan Bremner, Lewis Brandon. Well, it's the far side. Kai Fern, it's maybe just got this one. Oh, it's well, there's 5 in a block. Lane 2, 1 and 3, I think. Well, not quite. Ben Swan in 2 took that. 26.88. Kieran Lee, 26.99 and 27.04. 27.14, 27.19, 27.22. It doesn't get terribly easy for us.
Here's Tanis Irinkov back in again from Brock, Benjamin Beale, Michael Al-Safi, David Landman, Sean Cann, Conor Brearley, Ethan Mulligan, Matthew Piatek, Ross Griffiths and Calder Murphy. Where's this one going to go to here? It's a good fast start there in that centre lane, maybe lane number 5, Conor Brearley into stroke first, and on the far side, maybe lanes 1 and 2, Beale and El Safi. Maybe trying to fight this one out. It looks like it might be Beale and El Safi, Benjamin Beale and Michael El Safi into the wall first. It is going to be those two, I think. It is Benjamin Beale. I know it's a tie again, another dead heat.
Yeah.
Wow. Benjamin Beale and Michael El Safi. I said it was close, and it certainly was.
Yeah,
couldn't have been any closer.
We've had a few already this afternoon, a few dead heats for first place. Sean Can in lane 4, 26.94. I got that third place quite comfortably, but yeah, very tight. Heat 4, Ewan McLeod, Ewan Mitchell, Harris Japp, Cole Murphy, Caelan Weir, Stuart Morrison, Robbie Thompson, Blair McKean, James Cowdery and Matthew Martin. 26.58 to 26.74. Just maybe double checking electronics are okay before we get underway.
Seems to be some discussion going on, Robert. I'm not sure exactly what's happening. Right in front of us is a swimmer standing there. Not sure who it is. But I don't know what the issue is here, but the swimmer looks okay. It's not a medical issue. It seems to be a technical issue with the maybe the timing, as you said.
Yeah, it could be timing.
The referee and the starters are involved in the discussion.
Yeah, as you can see from your caption, some of the swimmers are standing, some of them are sitting down at the moment. The lad, I think behind blocks 8 and 9 or 8 and 7 are sitting. That might be a goggle malfunction, who knows?
Oh, possibly.
Something to do with the starting platform.
I don't know, maybe a pair of goggles have come off in the pool or something like that. Someone's going to have to go in and fish them out. I think they were back in business though, whatever the hold-up was.
Referee whistling, so I think we're good to go. This is the 4th of the 8 heats. So around.
Well, we are away and up and running. There was a change, I think, to the swimmer in lane 6, we're being told here. Ethan Mulligan in lane 6, and let's see how he goes in this one. Stuart Morrison in lane number 5, going well, possibly. Lane number 2 is Harris Japp, might be first to the wall, right at the top. Ewan McLeod as well, it's very close. The splash in to the finish, and Ewan McLeod does take it. 26.53 ahead of 26.67 Harris Japp. And Stuart Morrison 26.78, but look at the gap, Robert, between the first 6 there. In fact, there was a tie for 6th position. And 4th as well. Goodness, 2 dead heats in that one.
2 dead heats in that. Royce Crongelis, Ewan Gray, Adam McLaren, Ishmael Shalaby, Ewan Watson, Tom Armitage, Jack Mitchell, James Bodie, Jimmy Lynn and Ron Brown. 26.42 to 26.58. Not had anyone threatening the sub 26 yet, Paul. Good start in lane 3 from Ishmael Shalaby. Over on the far side, Royce Crongelis going very well. It's very close between them, and Ewan Gray coming through strongly as well. And in 6, Jack Mitchell. At the far side, it's lane 1, 0, and I think lane 3. That's the finish. Well, a dead heat.
Dead heat
Looks
again.
like a dead heat again. Ishmael Shalaby and Ewan Gray from Royce Crongelis. 26.29 joint first and 26.34. Well, it's not easy getting that call right.
26.29 for both of them there. Jack Swindale goes in 0 for this one. Kyle Wong 1, Rory Webster in 2, Alex Taylor in 3, Max Pelosi in the centre lane alongside Josh Martin, they've won 4 and 5, Torrin Liversidge in 6, Lewis Condy in 7, John Taylor in 8, and Orlando Deering taking the start in lane number 9, but in the centre there, Josh Martin off to a good start Wasn't the fastest reaction, but he's up and away in his stroke there. He's ahead of Max Pelosi here as they come through. Lane number 1, Kyle Wong going well, but I think it might be Josh Martin into the wall, or is it?
Lane 6.
Oh, it
Max
is
Pelosi.
Josh Martin, 26.08. And Max Pelosi in second, just 1/100th behind. Kyle Wong taking the third place there, so it was Josh Martin.
Another tight finish there, Paul. That was almost a dead heat. Penultimate heat, Robbie Boyd, Warner Bass, 1 Luke Johnson, Aberdeen Performance, 2 Murray Dixon, Stirling Swim, 3 Fraser Tetlow Geary, 4 Titus Peck, Stirling University, 5 Richard Laws, Cooper and District, 6 Fergus Curry, Mulgine Bearsden, 7 Benji Jeffries, South Ayrshire, 8 Alex Stitch, Stirling Swimming, and 9 Luke Goggin from Billingham. 25.73 to 25.99. Lane 1, Lucas Johnston and Robbie Boyd on the far side going pretty well, and coming through very strongly Titus Pike, Stirling University in 4. Titus Pike, Murray Dixon in 2 with a late surge. It's Titus Pike in 4. Titus Pike's got this one. Second place in lane 2 and 9, I think. It was 2 and 9. Murray Dixon, Luke Goggin. 25.68 for Titus Pike. Just inside his entry time.
What kind of time are we looking at for first reserve on this
we're
one? Or
looking
fourth reserve,
Fourth
should
reserve, we're looking at sub 25 in this one. 24.94.
Oh, well.
Sorry, 24.87 is joint.
24.87.
Would be joint fourth.
Callum MacArthur goes in this final heat. Cameron Gill, Stuart Clark, Callum Stewart, Alex Black, Connor Christophorus, Lewis McKean, Stuart Sutton, Callum Sinclair and Marcus Blake. Who is going to take this one? Looks like we have a full lineup of 10 for this final heat. Alex Black in the centre with that entry time 25.44. Connor Christophorus only 1/100th behind in 25.45, so 2 centre lanes will be the favourites for this one, and it's Christophorus maybe just heading it, but look down here in lane number 8, Callum Sinclair going well. It's very close to call, but maybe the centre lanes 4 and 5, Alex Black and Connor Christophorus into the wall, and it's Alex Black 25.64 winning it by 2/100ths of a second from Callum Sinclair, who was only a further 4/100ths of a second behind there. 3 swimmers at the front of the field. Couldn't dip under the 25,
no,
Robert.
No.
25.64 takes that one. The fastest we've seen, though, of all the heats.
Indeed. But, certainly going to be a big ask for anyone, as it has been, to get anywhere near a B final for either yesterday or Friday. Certainly nothing today other than potentially first reserve, which is, I think, the best we've had, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, 200 backstrokes to come, of course. Then we have the first heat of the 1500 freestyle. So 1500 freestyles heat declared winner, so no opportunity to qualify for an evening swim in that one, but still opportunities for this 200 backstroke for someone to make a little bit of a surge there. And we'll see, we'll check what times they have to do to try and force their way into another final tonight. First of 6 heats for this women's 200 backstroke. Ciara Gregg from Fauldhouse in 3, Emily Baxter from Dundee City in 4, and Anna Campbell from City of Glasgow in lane number 5. So Emily Baxter, the 20-year-old from Dundee City Aquatic, Anna Campbell, 14 years of age from City of Glasgow, and Ciara Gregg, 15 years of age from Fauldhouse. Another penguin in this one, Robert.
Yeah. Ciara Gregg, 15-year-old, Anna Campbell, 14, Emily Baxter, 20. So they're needing to swim something like sub 2:33 to trouble the judges in this poll.
2:33.
2:33.
The last heat 2:34, so
It's
an
possible.
entry time. So
It's very possible.
possibility.
Yep. Every chance we might have something happening later on.
Oh, this one, entry time's 2:41 for all three of the swimmers here, so we'll just keep an eye on their pace as they go through. Looks like Emily Baxter leads them at the halfway point, and out in 1:17 there. 1:19 in second place for Anna Campbell, and 1:20 for Ciara Gregg in third position. And again, the swimmer in the centre. All the swimmers separated in terms of their entry times only by 3/100ths of a second, so anticipated a close race, but it looks like Emily Baxter's got it pretty much under control here. Go through on this final turn. Just check the clock and see what kind of time we're looking at here. The 50-metre split there for Emily Baxter at that top end, 42:35. So if she does that again, she'll come back in around about that 2:42 mark. So she needs to pick up by around about a second or so, Robert.
Yeah. Wee chance maybe sneaking under 2:40, but as you say, she's really got to try and pick it up over the final 20 odd metres. When she got to that halfway mark, the red section of the lane ropes are, she was somewhere around about 2:20ish. So she's got half a chance of just improving her entry time. 2:41.60. Going to be pretty close to that. Just a fraction out. 2:41.83. Anna Campbell 2:44.03 and 2:45.20 for Ciara Gregg. Well, steady swimming from the three girls, although as we've seen for a lot of the swims, just a second or a few seconds over their entry time. That was the case in that heat. Well done to the three of them. So we move on to our second heat. 0, Amy Rowell from City Glasgow in 0. 1, Amy Jones, swimming slowly in 2, Sophie Steele, South Ayrshire. 3, Hannah Anderson, South Lanarkshire. 4, Gemma Coates from South Aberdeenshire. And 5, Abby Henderson, South Lanarkshire. In 6, Amber Littlejohn, University of Aberdeen Performance. In 7, Katie Cooper from Morndor Bass Club. And in lane 8, Tyler Watson from the Highland Swim Team.
A couple of youngsters in here, Robert, and
Yeah.
13 years of age. A couple of the Highland swimmer, Tyler Page Watson, 13 years of age, and a couple of the swimmers from the West District. You do a lot of the West District stuff, don't you?
I
See
do
a lot of the
indeed.
youngsters coming
Yeah.
through.
Yeah, Amy Rowell's a very promising youngster, so we'll see how she performs. Abby Henderson also in there.
City of Glasgow, of course, a big presence here at their home pool.
Well,
haven't
they are, Paul, big by far, and certainly by a massive amount, the biggest club represented in the district. Warner being the biggest club in the east, but by comparison, you know, they dwarf everyone else.
Do they do a lot of their training? They don't do all the training here. I mean,
they
they're obviously the east end of Glasgow we're in now.
Yeah,
there must be stuff through in the west, I would imagine.
Apparently, I know that they do a fair bit here, but there will be other pools in the Glasgow area that they will also use. But they do a fair bit of training in here. I know my daughter, when she came through to Glasgow University-wise, she swam all her sessions here. That was maybe about 8 sessions a week, Paul. And that was obviously the top squad, the top squad, the university squad. But some of the other top squads will spend a lot of time in this pool. Younger squads will be scattered around a few other pools elsewhere. But, yeah. Amber Littlejohn, 35.72, is our early leader. From Gemma Coates, Katie Cooper in third place. So we're coming towards the halfway mark. Those two swimmers first and second, not much between them. And the little John from University of Aberdeen Performance turns on 1:16.76. So pace-wise, Paul, we're probably a little bit inside the 240-ish mark. And for most of these, it's trying to get as close to your entry time. Your entry times of 2:41 dead to 2:41.5, so half a second. As you can see on the screen, they're probably separated by about 5 seconds at the moment, with about 60 metres to go. It's the Aberdeen Performance swimmer still with quite a health advantage now, Paul. We'll see how that's, but it's 41.89. Well, she's increased that a wee bit over Gemma Coates and Sophie Steele. The rest of the swimmers pacing around at 42, 43 second mark. So I think she's the only one that's got any main chance of getting sub 240. Gemma Coates has got to go pretty strongly to also get under 240. And Sophie Steele's going very nicely at the end. She's gone into second place. Don't think she's going to be sub 240. Amber Littlejohn has a reasonable chance of just getting into that 238.46. Sophie Steele just misses out on a sub 240, 240.05. Gemma Coates 242.12. So our first two home, improving our entry times, and great to see Amber Littlejohn get herself under 240, Paul.
Yeah, and Sophie Steele just about made it as well. 240.05 for her, the South Ayrshire swimmer, the 16-year-old. And we go on to heat number 3. Sadie Faulkner from St Thomas, Niamh McCready goes for Heart of Midlothian. Molly Irvin Watson from Dumfries in line 2. Madison Stewart and Jessica Kirkwood, University of Aberdeen Performance, they go in 3 and 4. Ellen Denny from Geary in 5. Amber Hinton from Dumfries in 6. Inga Cummins from South Ayrshire in 7. Olivia McManus from Highland in 8. And Caitlin Galbraith from Lerwick in lane number 9. Well, Amber Hinton, we've seen her a few times already today. 13 years of age, swimmer from Dumfries. She goes in lane number 6. She has that white cap there, just one lane down from the 2 yellow lanes in the centre of the pool. Jessica Kirkwood, though, off to a good start in lane number 4, and pulling alongside her is our teammate from University of Aberdeen Performance, Madison Stewart, just one lane up from the leader as they go through that first turn there. And 35.08 from Jessica Kirkwood. Again, another swimmer. Entry time under the 240, Robert. You'd love to get faster than that 239.75.
Yeah, really they've got to do 3 more lengths, somewhere around the 39 second mark, to give themselves half a chance. Most of them have been swimming round about the 41-ish splits for each 50. So we'll see what the split is here when Jessica gets to the halfway mark. Turning in 1:15.28, well, just over 40 seconds. So you would think somewhere in the mid 230s range. That won't trouble anyone for making finals, but I think literally everyone in this field, it's about trying to get close to your entry time, and if you can get a PB, so much the better. That's a good solid swim that Jessica's doing. Madison Stewart, our teammate, also going pretty well over on the far side. Niamh McCready from Heart of Midlothian, entry time of 2:40.60. She's going well in 3rd place, well clear of the rest of the field, fairly well bunched further back. 1:55.95. Nice and steady pace, Paul.
Yeah, looks like she's a little bit quicker than we saw in that previous heat. So we're on for something, as you said, Robert, and somewhere around about the mid 230s here. So that'd be a good improvement for And Jessica here, as she comes into the finish, has been pressed just by Niamh McCready at the top end, but it is going to be bang in the middle of the 230s there. 236.33. She'll be delighted with that one. Good finish from Niamh McCready as well. 237. And Madison Stewart 241, just outside her entry time. So good swim there from Jessica Kirkwood. She took that out strong from the start and was able to bring it home in a time, well, 3.5 seconds faster than her entry time. So she will be delighted with that one. 2:36.
That's really what we would need from swimmers in the middle lanes in our final heat to get them into a B final, Paul. Sort of a 3.5 second improvement. So we have in zero, Eva Smith, University of Aberdeen Performance. 1 is Tessa Boyd from Geary. 2, Bethany Firth, Shetland. 3, Rachel McGavin, South Lanarkshire. 4, Caitlin Parnaby, Elgin. 5, Kate Nolan, Wanderbass Club. 6, Evie Lamont, Glenrothes. 7, Eva Gordon, City Glasgow. 8, Lucy Morgan, University of Aberdeen Performance. And 9, Olivia Caldwell from City of Glasgow. 2:38s to 2:39s in this one. So fairly level start. Gone out pretty well is Bethany Irvin and Eva Smith in lanes 2 and in 0 over on the far side. In lane 6, Evie Lamont from Glenrothes. Best of the swimmers this side.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to get a close finish this one. It's certainly close in the early stages. Eva Smith and Evie Lamont pretty close, and 0.1 of a second separating them. We haven't really had a couple of races that have really got us excited there, because it's all been pretty spread out. Although we've had a couple of good times, it's all been pretty spread out. So we could do with a nice close finish here in this third heat. And Eva Smith, the 14-year-old, going well on that outside lane, maybe just leading them through to the halfway point. And just keep an eye on the splits as well. Can we get into that 230, the mid 230 range? It's a great close up there of the turn for the swimmer from Glenrothes, Evie Lamont. And it's a dead heat there as they go over at the halfway point in 1:16.90. Slightly slower than we saw in that previous heat, but can they bring this second half back strongly? You can sometimes do that in the backstroke. If you're going to be looking at upping the pace in the second half of the race, the backstroke's probably the one that's done most often.
Yeah, yes. This is where they've got to get to work in the third 50. And Evie Lamont, well, I think she's pacing in the sort of mid to high 230s now. 1:57.74. Kate Nolan's coming through strongly to challenge now. She's left it pretty late to come through, but she's timed it pretty well, Paul. I think Kate Nolan, Wanderbass, 14-year-old, just has swam the perfect race here.
It's looking good here. She comes into the final few strokes now. Can Evie Lamont respond? She is trying, but I think it is Kate Nolan who's come through right at the death of that one to win it in 2:37.05. And another good time there for Evie Lamont, 2:38.04. She'll be pleased with that one. 0.8 of a second improvement on her entry time. Rachel McGavin, the only other swimmer under the 2:40 mark, but those two in the centre. Kate Nolan swam really well, picking up on the second half of that one, and Evie Lamont in second place. Two good times for that fourth heat.
Yeah, not troubling anyone for finals, but good swims nevertheless. In 0 for heat 5 we have Jessica Ridley, Borough of Stockton. 1, Hannah Anderson, Carnegie. 2, Imogen Lau from South Aberdeenshire. 3, Eleanor Rana from Wanderbass Club. 4, Rebecca Somerville, Ren 96. 5, Lisa McNair, First. 6, Simone Finlayson, Dundee City Aquatics. 7, Evie Hislop, Borough of Stockton. 8, Chloe Kirk, Mulgine Bearsden. And 9, Caitlin Reid, Wanderbass Club. 36.60 to 38.56. So really we've got to find 4.5 seconds. We've not been finding much more than maybe 2 or 3 seconds so far, Paul. So I think again in this penultimate heat, all about trying to improve your entry time. See if we can get a few that are maybe in the sort of middle to...
What were we looking at again?
Yeah,
2:32,
yeah, we're looking at something like 2:30. 2:32.75 is 24th. So we're looking at these swimmers almost taking 4 seconds off their entry time. Given what we've seen so far, it's a big ask. Evie Hislop 35.99. Well, that's a reasonable start. But she's got to keep this going. As I said, we need to get 39s or 38.5s for the next couple of 50s to give them half a chance. But what we've been getting is 40s, 41s, which is fine to get a wee PB. Steady start from the Borough Stockton lass. Well, we've got a 39.69, but we're really looking for virtually bang on a 39. 1:15.68, a good steady start though for Evie. Second place, Lisa McNair on a 1:17.42. So she's just ahead of Chloe Kirk, 1:17.43. They're a good second and a half back. At the moment, the Borough Stockton lass is going pretty steadily. Lisa McNair and Chloe Kirk close behind. It's I think Lisa McNair that's gone clear in second. I'm now putting in a challenge. 40.81 split for Lisa. 41.30 should take half a second off that. 1:57.05. So I think realistically, Paul, we're looking at trying to get close to your entry time, or just improving it for both those girls. Evie still with the advantage, but there's not much in it. Lisa McNair coming through strongly to challenge at the end. Lisa in 5 and Evie in 7. It's Lisa McNair. I think maybe just coming through to take this at the very death. Lisa McNair's going to get this. Great swim from Lisa. Second Evie, and I think maybe just Chloe Kirk. Imogen Lloyd just ahead of Chloe Kirk. So the winning time for Lisa, 2:37.18, which was just outside her entry time, as was Evie Hislop, 2:37.90. Steady, Paul. That not troubling anyone for making finals yet.
Well, we thought this last heat might be the one that may challenge those times for possible times for the B final, certainly for the reserve spots. So we have in this one Leah Rafferty from Western Bartonshire. We have Lily Mundell from Heart of Midlothian. We're going 0 and 1 respectively. Lucy McLeod from first goes in line 2. Zara Innes from Carnegie in 3. Beth Manson from Elgin in 4. Annabelle Bevan from Nexus, we spoke about her this morning.
Yep.
And Ailsa Club from Aberdeen Dolphin in 6. Beth Creek from Aberdeen in 7. Freya Keeling from Carnegie in 8. And Zara Denson from Montefieth in line number 9.
I know it doesn't work out, Paul. We've got a lot of 15, 16-year-olds in this one, and one 17-year-old, but 2 13-year-olds in lanes 1 and 8. Lily Mundell from Heart of Midlothian, Freya Keeling from Carnegie. They might not trouble the judges, but you might think the younger ones might have a wee bit more opportunity to go faster than some of the 15, 16-year-olds. It doesn't always work out that way, because some of these slightly older swimmers might have been stuck on a time for a while, and then all of a sudden, whew, 3 or 4 second improvement. At the moment, it's a good start from Ailsa Club, Aberdeen Dolphin swimmer, 2:35.10. Well, she's got to find best part of 3 seconds, Paul, to trouble the judges. 35.07. So we're really looking at maybe something around 1:14 if we can, to give us get me excited, let's say. I might be getting excited, Paul. I've got a 1:14.32, and I've got Leah Rafferty on the far side and a 1:15.25.
Yeah, we spoke about Annabelle Bevan a little bit early on from the Nexus Club. What was it, Aberdeen?
Aberdeen, yeah, Aberdeen.
Welsh swimmer. So she had a very good finish this morning. Well, we're just getting told here. Our technical experts have given us duff information this morning about this Welsh club.
Yeah.
But you were nearly right, Robert, this morning. Apparently, it's Nexus from Singapore.
Well, I did. At least I was right that it wasn't a UK club. So, and the only reason
you're a couple of thousand miles out, but you were right.
Yeah. And the only reason I said that was because Nexus is in capital letters and everything else is in lowercase. So. I'm not saying I'm proud at getting
too technical for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the outside lane here, let's see what times we can get for this final heat here. It looks like Leah Rafferty from Western Bartonshire might have come through strongly in the closing stages. Let's have a check for the clock. Maybe it might be Lane Asa Club getting it in at 2:35.03, and a slight improvement on the entry time.
Yeah.
To take that last heat. Leah Rafferty just getting beaten on the very last touch there, and she has a good time, 2:35.58. Beth Manson, 2:35.86. Well,
and their Singapore based swimmer, 2:42.53. Annabelle Bevan.
Well, I'm glad that we got a chance to put the record straight this afternoon.
Indeed.
About their Nexus swimmer, Annabelle Bevan. I think it's a kind of a Welsh sounding name, isn't it, Bevan?
Bevan, yeah, indeed.
We might have been right after all.
We'll take a lot of credit for that one. Yeah.
200 metres backstroke. First heat, Luke McCall going for Warren Bass in 0. Lachlan Bremner from Highland going in lane 1. Logan Scally from University of Aberdeen Performance in 2. Aaron Dunn, City of Glasgow in 3. Sam Downey, para swimmer, goes in the S8 class in lane number 4. Finlay Bennett from South Lanarkshire goes in lane number 5. Ollie Wishart and Tyler Spalding in 6 and 7 from Carnegie. And Innes Gow from Geary goes in lane number 8.
2:30.83. The fastest time, that's Sam Downey, through to 2:32.90. So a couple of second difference. That's what we've got, Paul, in this one. We're looking at something sub 2:20 to get anywhere near a final. And that was that very good swim from Scott Fleming earlier on, and I think in the second of the faster heats this morning. Jed Armitage from Highland Swim Team on a 2:24.98 is really going to find something close to about 5 seconds, plus maybe realistically 6 seconds to get half a chance of maybe getting into a final. Sam Downey's gone off very strongly, Paul, 1:11.05.
Yeah, it's great to see him do well here, and he's making his way, of course, to the World Championships just at the end of this month. Backstroke one of his target events, so it's great to see him at the front of this field trying to aim for that time, 2:30.83.
I think we're going to find him under that time if he's travelling as smoothly as he is. He's doing extremely well here, Paul, turning in a 1:48.97, so I think we're somewhere in the mid 220s here, and Paul Wilson will be pleased with that one.
Yeah, Sam Downey has been one of the finds for paraswimming in Scotland over the last couple of years, so it's great to see him.
Totally dominating this one, and it's great to see him coming into this, the slowest of the heats this afternoon, performing at such a high level, and taking a few seconds off that 2:30.83. Well, what a big improvement. 2:27.78.
Great swim there from Sam Downey. 2:27.78. Big improvement for him.
Big drop.
He'll
big
be
drop indeed.
pleased to do that one for his preparation for the World Championships, and that could be a new Scottish record for Sam Downey, I think. 2:27.78. Great swim from him.
Well,
so well done to Sam Downey, and we'll just wait for confirmation of that one, but it could be a new Scottish record for Sam Downey, so excellent stuff from him. Great to see him in such good form, just a few weeks out from Manchester. Backstroke will be one of his target events, I'm sure. Also seen him go over the 400 freestyle as well, so excellent to see him. We'll watch out for his progress as we go through. It might even be inside the British record, you know, Robert, that one. I'm just checking the British records here. And it looks like the British records might have stood at 2:30, so it might be a British record for Sam Downey there. It's great to see that, and that's again a long-standing British record. So
I'll leave you to check that while I concentrate on this one, Paul. But please check that for us. In 0, Evan Davison, Perth City. 1, Finlay Brown, East Lothian Swim Team. 2, Dylan McShane, City Glasgow. 3, Blake Herdman, Inverclyde. 4, Jamie Ferris, Aberdeen. 5 is Fergus Reid, Geary. 6, Sky Kabushwai from University of Aberdeen Performance. 7, Michael Winship, City Glasgow. We have an empty lane in 8, and 9 is Jude Mowbray from City Glasgow. Ewan Davidson, 31.53, off extremely strongly. And certainly Evan Davison could certainly threaten this strong start, maybe a place in the final. 105.64. Well, I think we're going to find Evan Davison, Paul, will be in the B final this evening. I'm not wanting to jump my guns on this one, but so Evan Davison well clear in this one from Jamie Ferris and Finlay Brown. So we're coming down with just over 50 to go. We're expecting a time somewhere maybe around about the 140 mark at 150. And he turns in 140.76, so I can see him somewhere around about the 217 mark, and that will comfortably get him into the B final. Evan Davison from Perth City.
Oh, it'll be good to see someone make that leap into that B final, but look at this, what a dominant swim, isn't it, Evan Davison? Just makes you wonder about that entry time, because he's he's incredibly fast, isn't he? And that maybe he hasn't swum this for a long period of time, but 2:13.93 is an incredible swim there, off an entry time of 2:30.4.
That gets him the junior title, because that drops Jack Docherty-Simpson, unless there's a withdrawal, into the B final. Jack Docherty-Simpson, the only junior who made the final, in 10th place. So Evan Davison goes into the A final. Bit of a rarity, Paul, but he's a youngster who's a very talented youngster, Evan Davison. And as I say, if he hasn't swum it maybe for 7, 8, 9 months, and also the entry time 2:30.4.
And Sam Downey, we did check, and it was a new British record for Sam Downey there. So great stuff from Sam Downey in his preparation for the Manchester World Championships.
And Paul, just coming back to his swim, he really had to do it on his own. So given that he had to do it on his own in a really competitive environment, you'd expect him maybe to take a wee bit more off that the next time around at the World.
Well, he won't be doing 200 back at the Worlds, it's 100 back.
Of course,
is the event. But he might go over the I think he'll go over the 400 freestyle as well. So he's certainly a swimmer on the up, Sam Downey. It's great to see that. And as I said, he made his debut last year at the World Champs. He's got his second World Champs this year, also Commonwealth Games. So he's getting a bit of experience under his belt.
So our final heat. Let's see if we can get another wee surprise in this one. 0, Lewis Gibson, South Ayrshire. 1 is Adam Hill, Stirling Swimming. 2, Luke Littler, Derwentside. 3, Kel Mossman, City Glasgow. 4, Jed Armitage, Highland Swim Team. 5 is Oscar Chirnside, Geary. 6, Fraser McIntosh, South Lanarkshire. Teammate Tyler Stewart in 7. 8, Aaron McDowell, Swim IT. And 9, Daniel Henry, City of Glasgow. Jed Armitage, our early leader. And beside him, Kyle Mossman. 2:24.96 and 2 low 2:25s. So realistically now we're looking at something pretty close to 2:18ish to get any of these guys a swim. And that's not going to happen, not on a 2:11 for most of the field. 2:10.80 is the split at halfway. And if they're pacing around 37s, we're looking at very much on an entry time, Paul.
Oscar Chirnside in this one, of course, had that great 1500 swimmer in lane number 5, so we know he might be strong in the closing stages here. He went through in 8th position at the halfway stage, so that yellow cap, where is he going to be after this 50? Oscar Chirnside up to first.
Yeah. From
8th to first there, Oscar Chirnside with that incredibly fast 50. Look at that, 35.87, a couple of seconds faster than anyone else. Has he got anything left for this final 50 here? He's being pressed by Kyle Mossman, who goes over. In fact, they went over absolutely together, Kyle Mossman and Oscar Chirnside. Also going well, Adam Hill in lane number 1. Chirnside, Mossman and Hill into the wall together, I think. Might be Mossman was going to take this one. Just Kyle Mossman in 2:25 ahead of Oscar Chirnside. But that was a great third 50 from Chirnside.
Yeah, I think he just woke up during the halfway mark, yeah.
35 point, wasn't it? Goodness. He didn't quite have enough to bring it home. 37 point for Oscar Chirnside, but wow. A great 1500 yesterday and a really interesting 200 backstroke. Almost, I was going to say it was almost Craig McNally-esque there.
Yeah.
But not quite been able to follow it up on that final 50 there. Craig McNally, of course, famously had that blistering finish in every one of his 200 backstroke races, didn't he?
Yeah, very much so. Not very good on 50s, a bit stronger than 100, but
well, he must have had something. What was it? Four-time Commonwealth Games representative, Craig McNally?
Yeah, and he's just
so
given
he
up
must have had
recently.
something.
Yeah.
So we're on to the final event this afternoon, Robert.
Yes, just 6 swimmers sadly go in this one. We could have done with 1 or 2 more to fill the full programme up. But 14, 15, 16 and 113-year-old in this one. And 5 from Scotland and 1 from just south of the border. 3 City Glasgow swimmers. Gina Wren in lane 2 from City Glasgow. 3 is Alice Perry from the Wanderers Bass Club. 4 Abby Whitfield from Derwentside. 5 is Olivia Caldwell. 6 is Thea Glenn, they're both City Glasgow swimmers. And in 7 is Evie Chan, now with Ren 96. All the times here range from 19:04.12 to 19:26.34. In fact, Evie Chan doesn't take part, so 2 girls in 3 and 4, Warner Bass and Derwentside, and either side of them the 3 City Glasgow swimmers. So Abby Whitfield is our fastest qualifier, 9:04.12. Alice Perry, the Wanderers swimmer, 9:12.23, our third fastest.
Yeah, so again a big representation from the home club, City of Glasgow. Gina Wren and Olivia Caldwell and Thea Glenn. But they're all playing catch up here, the 2 in the middle. Alice Perry from Warrender with that red cap going over first at the moment, and Abby Whitfield as well from Derwent's side going over in lane number 4. So just we'll keep an eye on the splits as we go through, won't we, Robert? 36 point there for Perry and Whitfield, so they are stretching away from the City of Glasgow contingent, and quite often in these 1500 we see things get a little bit stretched out in the closing stages, but of course last night in the men's final, that was an excellent performance there, an excellent race between Luke Hornsey and Jack Munsey, wasn't it? And it's very close in the opening stages of this one. 2:22.76, Alice Perry just with the lead over Abby Whitfield. So let's hope they can stick with each other and help each other onto a good time.
Yeah. So we've just completed 200, 2:22.76 for Alice, but two of them almost stroke for stroke. It'd be good if the two of them can pull one another along throughout the whole race. Very difficult when we're only 5 swimmers, it may well get strung out. Both of those girls 15, and it's an event, both 8 and 1500 pole, that over the last year and a half we've not had the swimmers getting the opportunity to do this all that often. They're maybe swimming it occasionally at districts, and maybe at some of them got the chance at Scottish national age groups, but when they came back they were all doing 50s, 100s and eventually 200s, just to get them back into competitive swimming. Whereas maybe down in England, I'm not saying this happens, Abby Whitfield, there might be more opportunities down there to do some distance work. So Abby Whitfield just beginning to pull away from Alice Perry. We've mentioned in the past the problems with pool closures, or threatened pool closures up in Scotland. I'm sure that's the case south of the border as well, but we're certainly having a lot of problems up here getting pool time. So hoping Abby Whitfield can have a good solid swim and get herself well under 19 minutes, along with Alice Perry, Olivia Colwell and Gina Rain. Pretty well together, Paul in 3rd and 4th. Thea Glenn a fair way further back.
On the leading swimmer, probably going around about the 115 kind of range there. Abby Whitfield 4:52.27, maybe just under the 115s, high 114s.
Yep.
Oh, that one. So pretty decent pace here, and she's kind of been holding that for the last few hundreds. So it's good to see that. And she has just gone over the 400 mark. She'll be coming up to the 1/3 mark as she hits this bottom end again, so we'll get a decent idea of where we are standing in terms of what we project our time to be. Robert can get his calculator out. We can maybe do something like that.
yeah, I'll try and work my magic very shortly,
right,
Paul.
Well, let's see Abby Whitfield. What's she going to go there? 36.69, looks pretty good there, and she is stretching away, as you can see, as you would have seen from the splits on your screen a moment ago. Olivia Caldwell split in 3rd position was 37.46, so she's closing on Alice Perry, who's gone through 37.72 for that last 50. So Abby Whitfield just about holding the similar advantage. She's gone 38.26 this time, 607.22, and that's again
Actually, on 1:14.95. Yeah, that's been the slowest one she's done, Paul, but it's very consistent. 1:14, high 1:14s, one high 15s.
Oh, she has what, 1,000 meters to go here. So what's that? 1,000 meters. So that's 10. What's 10? What's 10 times 15 seconds?
10
There you
times
go,
15
for
seconds.
2 minutes and 30 seconds, so another 12 minutes and 30 seconds on top of that. There you go. 16:37-ish, I would say, probably.
Yeah, we're something around just over 18.5 minutes, Paul, as a potential finish.
18:37 now. My rough
Yeah.
calculation there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see how close we get as we go through. I suspect the pace might just drop off very slightly as we go through this one, but we shall see. We'll keep an eye on it. We're into the second third of this one. We're up to the 600 mark now. In that time, 7:22.57.
Well, that's just dropped off a wee bitty, Paul. Not an awful lot. 1:15.35. So she just want to try and just keep the steady. This part where you've gone a third of the race and you're on your own becomes a bit difficult just to ensure that steady pace throughout. Alice Perry, the wonder swimmer, also going pretty steadily. Distance, well, she's about 4.5 seconds further back. She's pacing, you'd kind of suggest, maybe around about the 18:50-55 mark, which is also going to put her inside that entry time 19:12. Libby Caldwell a bit further back along with Gina Wren. There's a couple of seconds or so between one another. So looking somewhere around 8:38, 8:37.
Yeah, pretty decent there. Just again in the 115 high, wasn't it?
Yeah, a bit higher, 1:15.65. So the time 18:40, maybe just drifting a wee bit towards the 18:45-ish mark.
Coming up to the halfway point now though, Robert.
Yeah,
just at the 7:50, we'll get a good idea at the 7:50 mark. She's gone pretty much, well, she went just under the 108 for the first 50, I think, or just around about 108 for that first 50, so 9:16.01 at the halfway mark at the 750 mark there, so double that one up, and that's 18:32 straight away. Maybe add maybe about 10 seconds or something for the fast first 100.
Yeah, that's roughly what we would do, Paul. So 18:40-ish. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way. Maybe some of the swimmers are encouraged to go out steady and build, and we have things called which we talk about negative split, which if you'd like to explain, Paul, what a negative split is in a distance event.
Well, you come back in the second half of the race faster than you go out on the first half, so if you can come back in time inside a 9:16, it's going to be a pretty good effort to come back there for Abby Whitfield. I should mention her entry time is 19:04, so she's well on course to be under that 19 minutes. We're maybe building her up a little bit, a little bit too much in the early stages of this one, because this is going to be a massive best time if she continues anywhere near this pace. So great stuff. She's just dropped down to maybe around about the high 115s there on her pacing. She's still well under that 19-minute mark, so we'll just keep an eye on that time. Let's just check the gap as well between Alice Perry and Abby Whitfield, and it is increasing very slightly, but just marginally every 100. There's maybe a couple of tenths in it. Goes over now, 11:10.05. Again, somewhere around about that high 115, so
just a smidgen faster. Yeah, just a smidgen faster than that previous one, but as you say, it's a high 115s. You can see there 38.02 for Abby, 38.56. She's gaining maybe about half a second or just under half a second for every 50 we've got.
Yeah.
So I think once they see that marker at the far end, they're, as you can see, 11s. Once they maybe see a 9, they'll begin to say, right, okay, I've done 2/3, I've now got less to do, and they maybe just begin to crank it up a wee bit over the final stages, especially the last 200 or 300. So we'll be looking at time somewhere around about the 12:26 mark, Paul, at this halfway mark. Sorry, not halfway mark, 2/3 of the way through.
Yeah, 2/3 mark, 1,000 metres gone. 12:26.27.
Well, that has been the slowest we've had, 1:16.22. Alice Perry, also she's beginning to feel the pain that wee bit, 38.50. So again, she's pulling away by about half a second, Paul, but Alice Perry, if she had been able to maintain that steady pace that she's had throughout, would actually be maintaining the gap, or maybe even clawing it back a wee bit. Olivia Caldwell still well back in third place, 7 seconds further back. Well, 38.20, Alice Perry will turn now. 38.7, another half a second slower on that last 50. So 38.20, double that, and again we're 1:16s. So
There was still something in the range of the 1840s, or Robert. Maybe the high 1840s rather than the low, but still going to be a phenomenal swim here.
Indeed. So we're looking somewhere around about 13:42 and a half. 13:42.71. So 1:16.44. Pace just dropping a wee bit time after time. 38.22 for Alice Perry. She's maintained that that gap at least. So maybe the Wonder swimmer is just beginning to find that wee bit extra in the second or section of the race, the final third. At least with 7 to go, Abby will be thinking, right, let's just try and find a wee bit extra over the final few hundred. 38.16, maybe just beginning to start picking things up. Alice Perry, 38.06, she's going a fraction faster. She's just maintaining the distance at least, Paul, which is good. They're about 9 seconds gap, so Alice would want to just keep this ticking over so that she maybe can get under 19 minutes.
Yeah, let's Abby Whitfield coming to the 1200 mark now. 300 to go at this point. Gone over 14:58.99. She's holding this pretty well. That's a slight improvement there.
Just a wee bit better. Alice though dropped 38.51. Well, we've got about 250 to go, and this is where the girls will maybe just start getting the legs going a wee bit more. Hopefully we'll see some 37s rather than 38s for the 50s. That's the 38.32 for Abby. Alice, I think, still finding it hard as well. 38.41. Very similar splits. About 8.5 seconds between the two.
Yeah, Abby Whitfield is just maintaining that advantage that she's had. You just built that up over the kind of second half of this race. She's kind of eked it out a little bit. She goes over 16:14.89.
Now, just picked up the pace a wee bit, Paul.
On 15.9, I think that was,
yeah,
Robert.
Yeah.
So
it's just beginning to crank it up, hopefully. Alice Perry, an 38.21 for that last one as well. So she's hopefully beginning to pick up as well. Less than 150 to go at the turn here for Abby.
It's a good contest at the back down the field with Gina Wren and Olivia Caldwell pretty closely matched there. This only separated by around about a second there, those two. As you just see them going up to the top end now. That's the battle for third position, but Abby Whitfield is coming down now to take the bell. That will give her a little bit of a spurt of energy, I'm sure, at the end of this 1500. So 100 to go for Abby Whitfield. She swum this really well.
Fifth at our time, Paul, comes from the Northumberland meet where she finished fifth in that. Oh, just a wee slippage there, 16:24. But we're certainly on for a finish time of hopefully around about 18:45. Hopefully she'll pick up a wee bit extra. Alice Perry, probably somewhere around about the 18:55 for Alice. Alice, her entry time was just a month or so back in this pool at the West District meet where she won that. 36.73. She's really beginning to pick things up. Abby Whitfield 37.20. So good to see these girls finishing the race nice and strongly. Gina Wren 37.28. Olivia Caldwell just dropping back a wee bit. So Gina Wren's now got herself into third place. But this has been a very, very good swim from both these girls. Great to see Abby Whitfield get herself well under 19 minutes. And she did indeed get under 18:45, 18:44.22. Well done to Abby Whitfield from Derwent's side, and also well done Alice Perry. Well, a super finish, 18:52.15. Great to see. And
Gina Wren finishing well too.
Gina Wren 18:03.70. Well, that's a good improvement. That's 20 odd seconds for Gina Wren as well. Alice Perry improving by 20 seconds, and Abby Whitfield also improving by 20 seconds. Olivia Caldwell just inside her entry time, so she'll be pleased at least she's swam it and got inside. Thea Glenn 19:19.44, all of them under their entry time, and that's fantastic to see. Good steady swimming from the whole field.
Yeah, great performance at the front there from Abby Whitfield and from Alice Perry as well. 20-second improvements for them. Gina Wren improves. And that is the final action, Robert, of this afternoon.
Is indeed.
And we've on to our final session. And we are a little bit earlier this afternoon for the final session. Coverage begins at 5 minutes to 5, so half an hour earlier. The swimming will start at 5 o'clock exactly. So that is the final action of this afternoon. So thanks, Robert, for your company this afternoon.
Thank you,
please
Paul.
join us for the final session in, well, just over an hour's time. Have a little cup of tea and we will see you again for the final action from here in Glasgow. Bye for now.
Bye.